Well, good Monday morning from Edmonton, Canada, capital city of Alberta and home of the 2017 Ford World Men's Curling Championship. Here we are in the capital of Alberta on the banks of the North Saskatchewan River. Lovely, lovely early springtime here in Alberta. We're out here at the Northlands Coliseum. Cityscape in the distance there. It's a building full of hockey and curling history. Stanley Cups and World Championship banners have been raised here. Who's it going to be this week? Coming inside now to Northlands for our feature game today, men's session number 6. It's Scotland taking on China. So good morning again, everybody. I'm Hans Frauenlob. I'm joined by U.S. World Champion and Olympian Anne Swisshelm. Good morning to you, Anne.
Good morning, Hans.
Well, the Scottish fans are up early, reading their morning paper.
Catching up on the news.
Yeah, late-breaking news. We had a lot going on yesterday, and it's day 3 now. And so what are the players thinking? They're kind of settled into the event?
Yeah, everyone's finding their groove, getting connected to the ice, and games are getting better and better, and with so much on the line this week, this morning's matchup between Scotland and China should be very intriguing.
So the team's coming on to the venue now for this morning's session. Fans from all around the world here in Edmonton this week. There we see the Norwegians welcoming their team. Some Scottish fans. They'll be loud and proud, they always are. Great scenes here in Edmonton.
Playing for Team Scotland, lead Michael Goodfellow. Second, Scott Andrews. Throwing third rocks and vice skipping, Greg Drummond. And well-known skip of the team, familiar Dave Murdoch, is joined on the bench by alternate Ross Patterson, coach Ian Tetley.
Let's meet Team China. At lead is Zhang Jialang. Second is Ba Sheng. Good smile there from Ba. Xu Xiaoming is playing at third. And China is skipped by Liu Rui. Zhao Shang is the alternate and Marcel Rock is their coach. And let's have a look at the standings. Canada is the only unbeaten team, but we've got a logjam at second place. Italy, Japan, Norway, Scotland, Switzerland, all at 2-1. Sweden also at 2-1. China got their first win yesterday against Russia. They're 1-2 with Germany and the United States. And the Netherlands and Russia looking for their first victories. Four sheets of action here in the morning draw. On sheet A, it's Italy versus the United States. Our feature game on sheet B, Scotland versus China. Sheet C, it's Switzerland versus Germany. And a Scandinavian matchup on sheet D, 2-1 Sweden versus 2-1 Norway. We'll keep an eye on all of those games for you and update you during the match, but we're returning now to sheet B in our feature game. And former world champion David Murdoch, Olympic medalist. They had a fantastic game yesterday, and in our game against Japan, they had a great day, actually, with victories over the United States and Japan.
Yeah, and their record at 2-1, the game they lost right out of the chute was really an unusual loss. They just didn't finish a couple of ends. They were playing quite well. They might not have loved the ice conditions, but after a 2-0 day yesterday, Scotland is on a nice roll, looking to continue that today against Team China.
And conversely, the Chinese struggled a bit in the early going, losing to Sweden and to Italy, but a big win yesterday against Russia. So they've got their first win on the board, so they're looking to build on that this morning, and it'll be an important one for them if they've got any playoff aspirations. So Scotland's playing the Red Stones. China will be playing the Yellow Stones. Scotland has the hammer by virtue of the last stone draw, so leading us off here this morning will be China. Zhang Jialang gets us underway. absence of the Thomas Ulsrud team from Norway and from this competition, you'd have to say that Team China is currently leading the field in best pants.
Yes, they are leading the field. Team China started wearing these pants actually this last December during Curling Night in America is when they
Fantastic.
made their premiere.
So slightly more conservative Scottish pants here for Michael Goodfellow. And it's game on right away. China with the center guard, and here comes Scotland looking to take advantage of it right away and going around.
The Scottish team, likely one of the most traditional curling nations, if not the most traditional curling nation,
No doubt, home of the sport.
as they are home to the Royal Caledonian Curling Club. It's our mother club.
Good.
Nice stone there from my Goodfellow into the forefoot, and I'm loving this. China's going right at it.
Yeah, they're going to take advantage of the wonderful play that they've seen out of this lead. This young man has played quite a few worlds now. He's skipped at one and has shown such promise.
Zhang Jialang skipped China to a Pacific Championship, so lots of experience, and they're very nice stone. Great angle, perfect weight, right out of the chute. Game on.
Really, the strength of this Chinese team is their ability to draw and their ability to communicate through the draw. And I think we're going to see that most of this game.
And if these first three stones are any indication, we're in for a pretty entertaining day.
Top four now. Weight's good. Yep. Can't hurt it. Can't hurt it, guys. We're on it. Yep. Whoa.
So follow the leader.
Yeah, and what we saw yesterday out of Team Scotland, just very specific, very accurate communication throughout the shot.
Yes, if you were with us yesterday for our game Scotland versus Japan, you saw top to bottom, Scottish team outplayed their opponents at every playing position and really built a really strong foundation. Here's Ba Zheng. So this will test the Chinese team. Ooh, a little misstep there from Xu Xiaoming, but recovers nicely. A little wider than they would have liked, but not a bad spot for the Chinese.
Yeah, they had to wait for that one. They were waiting on line, and as you're waiting on line on this ice, because it curls so hard, the weight comes off it, and it just sits a little short of their intended spot.
Just barrier. Scott Andrews throwing barrier weight. Board weight for those in North America. And I'm not sure what it is in Mandarin.
But yes, the Scots definitely have the best weight calls,
No doubt.
from barrier to strike.
Here are the rules of play. 10 ends scheduled, but 6 ends minimum to be played by the teams today. Each team has 38 minutes of thinking time to play the game, and each team has one 60-second timeout where they can call their coach onto the field of play. Nice stone there by the Scots, and so look at that. 5 stones all right down the center line, behind center guards. I'd say somebody's going to score a bundle. Not quite sure who yet.
And one more from Ba Duchen, who had an absolutely outstanding game last night at 90%.
Well, join the party. Party on the center line. Look at those angles.
Yeah, it looks to me like you might be able to.
We hear peel weight, don't we? So maybe he thinks he can run the lot.
He's called for a straight peel, so they're just trying to remove the center guard. I don't think they're playing a run here. Just trying to open up the middle.
Well executed. Redstone belongs to Scotland. They've got the hammer, but very intriguing. Yellowstone belonging to China, just front of the button wedged in there.
Yeah, right now it looks like the angles might favor Scotland just a little bit.
I agree. Xu Xiaoming, age 32, but a veteran. He's been playing with this Chinese team literally since they began playing internationally in the early 2000s.
Yeah, one of the most experienced players in the field, actually. Comes up a little bit long here, and this sits in a spot that creates a bunch of visual traffic for the thrower. Scotland can get around that with kind of down weight, but they know they need to throw something a little bit more powerful, so they're just going to play a simple peel or clear. Greg Drummond gets his first rock of the game away.
Well executed.
It's executing those simple, basic open shots that make the more challenging ones that much easier. It's very important to throw those simple shots, very clean, very accurate, so that your skip learns the ice, the shape of the ice, how it's moving, and your team connects to the speed of the ice.
Xiaoming with the second stone of the end. Scotland with the hammer. First end to play. But it's all on.
Yeah, I just really enjoy the intensity of Zhang Zhaliang.
Yeah, I call him Harry Potter, but boy, he is intense.
He has so much energy.
If you can ever click the yellow, top yellow.
You can tell how much he loves the game.
Oh, absolutely. He loves shot making. And Xu Xiaoming looking at his work, it's a better guard.
Much better.
It's great if you can ever make contact with anything. Yeah. Because the top two are killing us.
Give it a run. I'll play it safe.
Here in the background, the Scottish front end saying, yeah, the top two are killing us. They do want to try and reposition them a little bit if they can, but job one is to clear the guard, but they'd love to clip those two at the top and spring those stones apart a little bit.
Yeah, and David said, Skip David Murdoch said, play it safe. And what he means is, we have to clear this guard. It's great if we get the run, but we need to clear the guard.
Yep, safety first is absolutely correct. There's the spring, and we can see the stones scatter as a result, but it does leave that center guard.
It leaves double centers, actually, and shot stone wide open. Unfortunately, that is not what Scotland was hoping would happen when they hit into the pile. They were hoping to hit it on a little bit of a different angle, keep two red stones in the rings.
And that was the risk you were talking about, wasn't it, Dan, that David referred to? You know, he was worrying about that. That was the risk there. And in the back of the mind of his teammates, they were thinking, try to get 2 for 1, clear the guard and clip something and get a little bit greedy, and all of a sudden you stuff it and you're in, not in trouble, but not where you want to be.
Yeah, the good news for David is if Leo Ray makes this shot as called, which is a hit and roll underneath those center guards, Dave already knows what his shot is.
Right.
It's a draw. It's just which direction, which way do they know the ice best, and he's going to try to set up what we would call a skip's deuce. Those last 2 stones thrown of the end are the ones that get counted on the board, hopefully, for Team Scotland.
Yes, no, so they must be close to something. Little inside flop. Great shot there from Lurai.
Really nice shot.
So now China lies 3. 2 of them behind a center guard. So that turned around really quickly.
Like I was giving Mikey this for that, probably where the one is. Okay. So I'm leaving that. Take a wee bit.
And foreshadowed. David Murdoch was already anticipating that shot being made and mentally preparing himself to throw this draw.
Yeah, this is actually a great opportunity for a skip. I mean, they look at this situation and they say, super. there's plenty of room for me to draw. Drawing the forefoot is something I do all the time, and I do very comfortably and naturally. And all of a sudden, I've got a couple of guards. This is a great opportunity. And I think any skip that looks at it that way, the shot becomes that much easier. We'll get a look at the ice speed here for Dave Murdoch's first rock of the game.
T line. T line. Line only.
A little tighter than I'd like.
Line only. Back 4.
Line's good.
Back 4. We need it to grit.
Waiting.
close.
I
Line's
think this
good.
one might be sliding a bit fast. It's about
It's coming down,
13.5, so that's
back
probably
4.
about back 4 foot weight, maybe back 8. Sweeper's backing right off it. Comes to rest in the back of the 4 foot, not bad. Probably half at least behind cover, but China will be forced to follow it down.
Yeah, that looks pretty much all behind cover from the left hack.
There we get a great look at it from the home end, and yeah, very well behind cover. Maybe a corner of the rock available, but certainly nothing you could throw weight at.
Yeah, that's the challenge, and with it sitting in the back of the 4 foot, it gives a wonderfully large target for Leo Ray. And
His sweepers would have been watching Murdoch Stone very carefully and getting a split time, and they're feeding that back to Liu Ray right now, aren't they?
absolutely, they should have a really good read on what the speed of this spot is and how this spot moves after watching Dave's shot.
Chinese players tend to throw a little less handle rotation, however, so they carry slightly differently and probably curl a little bit more than the Scottish Stones.
And we'll get a nice speed comparison here. Remember, Dave Murdoch and Team Scotland's draw was 13.5.
Yeah, that's right, and this is a hot one. This is a 13.1, so this one's got steam going behind it. It's probably going to blow right by. Drummond ready at the tee line to sweep it back, and, well, and Swisshelm talked about the skip's deuce, and here's the chance. An opportunity missed for the Chinese. Heavy with the draw. The sweepers never had a chance to participate in that shot, and despite the 3 stones belonging to China, it's a draw for 2 coming up for Dave Murdoch.
I think that's good. That's, I hear, more than what you had.
And the hammer's away.
Line's good. Line's good. Same line's good.
Needs a piece of the 4 foot to count 2.
Yep. Getting a little tight. Yep, gotta go.
And there it starts to bend. You can see how fast that's curling.
Really hard line.
Looks a little light.
Well, they're worried about the line. They've got to get it by that guard in the top of the rings first. And it comes to rest, and he does clip that front stone, so it's only 1 for Scotland. Opportunity lost for the Scots to break on top, and it's a unlikely force for China. They're breathing a sigh of relief. And there we can see the Chinese saying, let's pull it together for end 2, boys. After 1 end of play, Scotland's on top, 1-0.
Oh, I was really back to it too.
Welcome back to the Northlands Coliseum.
Top 8.
One end in the book. Opportunity for the Scots to break on top with the deuce end, but uncharacteristic. Second shot at the same stone, and Dave Murdoch couldn't convert.
Yeah, they really have to kind of flip that frustration and that lost opportunity to the back of their minds, let that one go, and move forward. And they do so with a wonderful opening shot from Michael Goodfellow. Zhang Zhaliang, high-performing lead for Team China, looking to set up the first corner guard of this game.
掉路，不要力量。3。上去加油！这边后去加油。2，再来点儿。
We're seeing a very traditional start to the end. The team without hammer likes the play away from the team with hammer likes the play away from center. The team without hammer, Scotland, likes to create as much traffic as possible down the middle of the ice. Take control of the key scoring area, that being the forefoot.
3. Here. Right here. 3.
Ken Watson curling, old school. Old school, still the right school. Lots of possibilities now, though, with the free guard zone for different things to happen in the early part of ends.
It's all new again.
还是往边上选都行。
这边太高了，人一打一甩溜。
We're looking at textbook placement here for rocks
Absolutely.
to start the
Yeah.
end. So
If you could carry 3 of them down, that's where you'd put them.
counterclockwise rotating draw, looking to freeze to the face of the Scottish stone in the top of the 8 foot.
5，往后选，5，得掉线，掉线。
They've got to wait for it to curl as it just gets past
Oh, he just
that corner guard.
feathers the outside guard.
Oh,
and
he
touched
burned
it.
it.
Oh, no. That's a violation and disappointment for the Chinese team. You're not allowed to make contact with a running stone with the brush, and let's take a close look at it here. Something happened, and somebody made contact with that running stone after that
Right
redirection
there.
right there.
Ba Duchen, and
Immediately
all credit,
called it himself.
All
Absolutely.
credit to these players. It is such a unique part of the sport of curling that the players actually are responsible for calling the fouls on themselves to a large degree.
Yes.
And it just speaks volumes to the character and the tradition of this sport that our athletes are capable of doing that and do that so
Hard line's great.
with regularity.
Well, you know, you're absolutely right, Ann. The spirit of curling, it's called, and a big part of that spirit of curling is the sportsmanship and not taking advantage of an opponent unfairly, and a great example of the sportsmanship there from Team China.
Yeah, what that really leads to is a camaraderie and a connection between athletes from around the world. No matter where you come from, no matter how you came to the game, whether it's your parents who taught you the game or a high performance director in China who taught you the game, it creates a connection, and again, that camaraderie that is just something special.
And well, Ba Dejing immediately gives some payback for his own error and makes a great raise. There's Marcel Rock,
Yeah.
the Chinese coach, and he would have been infusing some of that spirit of curling into that Chinese team, wouldn't he?
Absolutely. And on the benches for both teams. World champions. So Marcel Rock coaching Team China, running their program.
Top 4. Line's good.
Member of the legendary Furby 4, multiple world champions.
Almost. Line's going to be good.
And Ann was mentioning the World Championship experience on both benches, and there we see Ian Tetley, 3-time world champion himself.
Played with some of the game's legends.
Wayne Madaw, Ed Wernick, Al Hackner, amazing.
Yeah. Ian Tetley carried them around the rink on his brush on his back.
That's what he'll tell you anyways.
And a wonderful run back takeout by Ba Duchen.
Man. Well, that's an eventful end for Ba. Burns a stone, then makes 2 brilliant run backs. Let's take a look at the action on sheet C between Switzerland and Germany.
If we hit it, we have to get it out.
Here is Benoit Schwartz of Switzerland. Looks like he's throwing a draw.
Yeah, he has an open draw to score his second point. He's got one secured. Sweepers, making sure, needs a bit of the 8 foot to score his 2. And
Safely home. Nice start for Team Switzerland. And they're pretty quietly confident this week. You can always count on strong teams out of Switzerland. We talked a little bit, and we will through the broadcast, about the Olympic qualification potentials. And then we see a run back there from Scotland. Ticks the stone, but actually leaves it in play, and maybe not guarded, but certainly in the neighborhood of that center guard.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, we're coming back to the Swiss. Very important for them to perform well this week to directly qualify for the Winter Olympics. And Peter de Cruz and his teammates are off to a good start.
yeah, and as you mentioned, this championship is all about winning the world, being the best in the world this week, but on the line are valuable Olympic qualification points for the 2018 Winter Games in Pyeongchang, South Korea.
就是小点，朝野偏小，黑野。
China with a great opportunity here to put some pressure on Scotland. Sits 1-2.
Things building up nicely for Team China. And let's take a look now at Italy versus the United States. The Italians with a good start, but chance here for the USA. John Schuster.
And John Landsteiner working hard to hold the line on this takeout, which, when executed, leads to an opening score of 2.
So a nice start there for Team USA. They break on top 2-0. Back to our feature match, Scotland versus China.
Just high. Just high.
Scott Anders.
Yep. Whoa.
Sorry, apologies, that's Greg Drummond.
Gotta go.
Yeah, we're at the thirds rocks.
We are. Right on the nose.
Okay.
Still available for China, though, so China's got the hammer and a decent chance here, Ann.
Yeah, it's a nice setup. That missed run back by Team Scotland has allowed China to take a little bit of control.
So, big rock coming up here for Xu Xiaoming.
Come on. Come on, 力量。
Love to flop behind that cover in the center if he could.
小心。
He's going to have to play really delicate weight to do that, though.
They're trying to make it curl. It's a little wide. Line looks pretty good now.
Yeah, nice control weight, just hack weight, just enough to push it through the rings.
Wonderful shot for Xiao Xiaoming.
Yeah, very nice.
大家。
Talked about the introduction of curling in China. It wasn't until 2002 or 2003, I believe, that they competed at all internationally. I remember the very first time they competed because I was competing against them. It was at the Pacific Championships in Queenstown, New Zealand. And I remember meeting Xiaoming, and of the 5 players in the team, he was the one that spoke a little English, so I came to greet him and welcome to New Zealand. And he said, "Where are you from?" And he said, "Oh, we're from a small city in China, Harbin."
Harbin.
And he said, eight, and I'm thinking, okay, 80,000, 800,000 people. He said, 8 million people.
8 million. That's a small city in China.
Yeah, and I had an instant flashback and a vision of millions of Chinese curlers, and I thought, this is going to be interesting now. Great shot there for Scotland. Great roll.
A saver, and that sits in a wonderful spot. The run back's going to be very difficult to see. Hard brushing, great call. Hits in the perfect spot. Greg Drummond takes it just a little bit farther. Back 4, directly under that Chinese rock in the top of the 12-foot.
Yep. Position A. Great shot. There you
And
get
because of the angles, you can't run that stone back.
exactly. We get a great look at it here from the hack end. Really no way at all to get to the nose of that yellow to promote it straight back with enough weight to move it out. So Liu Ray is going to be forced to the outturn side. Kind of similar to the first end, where drawing against opponent stones, but with a pretty good opportunity if you can lock one in there to maybe generate a deuce. He was heavy with his last draw attempt in the first end, so let's see if he can make the adjustment here. Having to wait for this one to curl.
Much like the Burnstone, it's taking its time on this path, coming off the wall, gets past that corner guard,
It's getting better now.
comes in. Beautiful draw.
Very nice. I would have loved it to curl maybe a centimeter more, but the weight was absolutely perfect. And there we see it. Half berry, but the angles are bad for Scotland. You
Yeah,
can't play
it's a
weight,
teaser.
You're going to jam. You're tempted to play it. You think you can get to nose, but you creep your weight up a couple of feet, and we saw how straight both of those Chinese draws tracked.
Dead back 8, enough to bump it out the 4. Yeah,
Just that.
but you've got a third from here.
You know that Dave Murdoch's thinking exactly what we were talking about, and he said, yeah, I know I can bump it, but I really don't want to.
So we're decent.
You know, the thing that
Play that for 2.
you can recognize about Team Scotland, they have complete faith in David Murdoch to make any shot.
Absolutely true.
For 2, eh? If you're at the nose, it's really close to the guard. Like, if you're splitting the line, he probably does play it. Yeah. Oh yeah, so like, what we're throwing back 8?
I think so. Yeah. The button's middle 12, so. Good.
Feels a bit to me like Dave was kind of persuaded into this shot a little bit by his teammates.
Dave has a lot of trust in his team.
Back 8? Yeah, I like it.
If you listen to this team, they participate in a lot of the shot calling. They do it in a very soft and very subtle way. It's very connected one to another.
That's going to be really close. 90.
Do you think that's too much? Quite a bit.
Dave's still second guessing the ice a little bit. He saw those Chinese stones track.
Yep. Dave's settling himself. He's getting rid of any doubt on shot selection. He's looking now just on execution.
Line's good. We're here down. Do it down. Yep. Easy. Well, line's good. Yep. Whoa. We're not. Hard. 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 Gotta go.
I'm not sure this is going to have enough weight to push it through back into the 8-foot. It looks a bit down to me.
Yeah, it's just T-line weight.
Okay.
So perhaps mentally compensating for his uncertainty about how much that would curl, and he downed the weight. And China now with a chance to draw for 2. Hasn't got much real estate to draw to, though. He's going to have to draw to the side of the button to squeeze a second one in there. Needs to be full 4-foot.
这个可以这样下来的话碰一下。
Xu Xiaoming saying, yeah, we can also bounce off that one that Murdoch just threw and get 2 that way.
Yeah, and this is a similar opportunity to what Scotland saw in end 1,
Yep.
where they did not capitalize. So back to China. They get to throw the same draw down the same path, looking for the same result and a score of 2.
Deja vu all over again in end number 2. So let's see what Liu Rui can do on his chance to convert the deuce. Last stone on its way.
哦，这个点有点大。
可以下线啊。
底线，下路可以，小亮。
下线。2，力量。
下路可以，力量，保
下
证力量，
路力量。
保证力量，可以轻轻碰一下，可以轻轻碰一
They
下。
like the line.
Yeah, they like the line. It's weight only. It's in the control of the sweepers.
可以碰，可以碰，可以碰。
Can't hurt it.
And that is absolutely perfect. Great stones there from Liu Rui, and China scores 2.
Yellow.
Exciting end, great shots, but China puts the deuce on the board. So after 2 ends of play here at Northlands Coliseum, it's China 2, Scotland 1.
这边稍微缓一点，稍微顶一点。
In the universe that is distinctively curling, the stars have now aligned to deliver the world's ultimate showdown to the world's entertainment capital. Whether you're a storied veteran of events past or a future superfan anxious to attend your first, this is the one. The 2018 World Men's in Las Vegas with our most popular package, the 9-day, 10-night hit and stay for 2 people for just $20.29.
Las Vegas rocks.
After the deuce in the second, Sang Chia-Lang getting us underway in end number 3. Man and I were talking a little bit on the end break about how that second end evolved and the mental toughness of the Chinese team after the very sportsmanlike call of the Burnstone end, and how that end turned around from there.
Exactly. It took a tremendous amount of focus to come back from a burnt stone, and then to make the run backs that Badushin made in that end really set China up for that score of 2. And their skip, Leo Ray, nicely finished it off with some perfectly swept draws right to the button. Scotland's going to need to rebound a little bit from missed shots from their skip with both his hammers the last 2 ends. Both of Dave's shots have come up light. Both are out-turn draws or an out-turn tap. So Dave needs to make the mental adjustment to the weight of the ice and finish the end for Team Scotland.
Nice start there from my good fellow, perfectly behind that guard, right in the front forefoot, position A.
Intense sweeping, looking to hold the line, get to the face of the Scottish stone in the top of the forefoot.
Shu and Bob bringing it all the way into the 8-foot. Great brushing there. If you want to say this sport isn't athletic, take a look at that. Big smile from Vi, says, yep, that's why I train. I did that. Great stuff.
Yeah, sweeping's fun. It's hard, but it's fun when you do it well and you do it precisely. It is fun. But it does take hours and hours of work in the gym.
Top 12. Top 8.
Arlene. Arlene. We're short of the 3. Come on, keep going, guys. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. We're not getting by. We're not getting by.
Just going to rub that center guard. So stones accumulating here. Scotland's got the hammer. And let's take a look at Sweden versus Norway. We talked about the Scandinavian matchup. And here we are on the second end. Some stones in play, but they're behind the tee line for Nicodine.
He needs to just come down to those or draw full forefoot for his single point here in the second end.
Bra linje. Ur farten. Kallar över. Dra rygg. Håll igång. Kallar.
And sweepers really working it. They need.
Holding the line there at the end, really curled.
Wow. Close, they take a look at it, but confirmation that Sweden scores 1. Close call there for Edin, but Sweden's on the board. That'll be a pretty tight contest. This Norwegian side of Stefan Wahlberg is very strong. Not well known to the wider curling world, but they've had a great season.
Yeah, coming on strong, Team Norway.
Meanwhile, back in our feature match, Scott Andrews looking to rearrange things a little bit here.
Redecorate a little bit, as we say.
Kills 2 of those center guards, leaves a corner guard, but certainly opens things up a little bit for Scotland. Chance now for China to play a really short angle raise and remove the Scottish stone. You like this call in?
I think it's a little bit defensive. They have an opportunity to just buy a little time out in front of the rings. But knowing that this is actually where this stone that they're raising was in a nice spot if they had thrown a center guard. But China's happy with the force. Now they've got 3 rocks in the rings. Put a little bit of pressure on Scotland.
And perhaps that's what they're thinking. With the deuce, they may be feeling like they haven't got strong control, but they've maybe got weak control, and play for the force and just try to arm wrestle their way into an advantage.
Yeah, I would just like to have seen a little bit more patient approach to the setup, because I thought the setup was in China's favor there. And
the
with
angles
one
were
nice hit and roll,
Really hard.
it'll shift to Scotland.
Still good.
Whoa.
This one's over curling a bit, gets some contact and pushes it towards that corner guard, but
It's not bad there.
Yeah, it
2
sits
Chinese
behind
stones.
the
Yeah, it's
sits
behind,
behind the tee line.
Nice pocket there for
Yeah.
Scotland.
Dave recognizes it's not bad there. It sure isn't.
Even though China is lying 2, corner guards, stones behind the tee line. There's something brewing here for Scotland. Lou
Yeah.
Ray knows that.
Isn't that funny though? I mean, it's about to be all China,
Yeah.
but the setup looks to me to be in favor of Scotland right now.
Xu Shaohun.
And Scotland's an experienced enough team to recognize that the opposition rocks can be their friends.
Yep, sometimes you just have to take a deep breath and trust that you're going to get an opportunity to use it.
Yeah, and here goes Dave. Dave Murdoch calling right away. No hesitation.
95-3, I think. Going to be close.
Going to be drawing to the intern side for Greg Drummond.
Yeah, no, we saw a couple of maybe underthrown rocks by Scotland. The draw itself at the World Championship is a pretty grueling affair. It's 12 teams. They play 11 games minimum.
Top 4.
And at some point, each one of these teams will play 4 draws in a row. Scotland is right now playing the 3rd of their 4 in a row. And so that means they played the afternoon, the evening yesterday, right back on this morning, and they're on again this afternoon. There's a possibility that there's a little bit of fatigue setting in with that schedule.
And that's a pretty nice stone there by Drummond. And yeah, 4 in a row is tough, but after you've won 2 of them, you're probably feeling pretty bouncy when you wake up this morning.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
So the complexion of this end changes really quickly. Scotland with the hammer, but now China is going to be forced to play on top of that Scottish stone. Xu Xiaoming watching intently as his teammates are brushing it hard. They're worried about the line. This might be over curling.
The speed of Zhang Zhaliang's brush is just so impressive. And if he can't hold that, and
I would say Scotland's still lying 1 there. It might have overcurled a fraction. They did a great job holding the line, but
Yeah.
looks to us on this overhead shot.
Yeah.
Great job, team, that those red stones belonging to Scotland might
There's
still
a-
be lying 1.
yeah,
Either or,
that's
whatever one you
great brushing. If they can't hold it,
Okay.
there was no holding that stone.
There we see a close-up of
He's catching
Zhang
his breath.
Xiaolang looking for the oxygen.
Same throw. Same way, it's going to be real close.
Greg Drummond now for Scotland looking to Throw another one in there.
Draw to the open side.
Split the house to I2.
Line's a little tight.
Reed's
Line's
good.
a little tight.
We're on the T line.
Okay, just don't want to go too far, guys. It's gonna
Has to be on the
overcurl.
tee.
Yep. Come on, come on, come on. Gotta go. Gotta
Losing
go,
line
gotta
now.
Go, gotta go.
Well, is it second shot? I don't think so. I think it's overcurled. China's still going to hit it, I think, but you might want to take a second look.
往这甩呗。
Red stones belong to Scotland. We get a great look at it. Thanks, team, from the overhead. Stone and just behind the tee line, we think is shot. Yellowstone, I think, is second shot. And the red stone to the right of our picture now, I think it's third shot. Not much to pick between them, though.
No, it's
Yeah.
pretty important for China to remove this one at this point.
Yeah.
And it's a great opportunity. They
Yeah.
can kill this potential counter.
Lots of house to roll to, but whether it's behind the center guard or even further behind the pile. So here's Lou Ray.
朝前，3，朝前，hard，往，
Low, low,
往，直心，朝前，直心，直心，
low.
哦，定了。再来一
Looking
点。
for an inside roll. Doesn't look like he's going to get it. Right on the nose. So we think Scotland now lies one, but China with a pile of stones accumulating around the 12-foot, but unfortunately for them, Scotland's got the hammer.
You should nail it. I know there's room. Like you don't have to be worried. Well, I'd say you were. I was a hair, just a hair narrow. I'd say you were this. But I don't think that what I had on Broom's really safe for this shot. I think yeah.
Looks to me like he might be trying to come around that stone in the 8-foot on the left-hand side in.
Essentially the same draw that they saw from Greg Drummond, third. They're just trying to sharpen up the line a little bit to make sure that they get around. So they're taking a little bit of extra. Now the trick is, how long will this rock run along the center line before breaking and curling? That looks like a pretty big port that he's going through, but it's staggered. It's a backwards stagger port. So he's got to just miss the top guard and then
Just missed the guard in the 8-foot. It's actually a guard in this situation because he is trying to come around it.
Little narrow.
Sweepers on it immediately. They're a bit worried about the line,
Line's
bit
good.
tight.
Hard.
Line's good.
Line's real good.
Happy with the line now. It's a question of the weight.
the guys are going hard for weight.
Just bait it. Gotta go.
Come on.
Just bait it. Gotta go. Gotta really go. You can be short on the angle here.
It's going to get a piece of the Chinese stone. It's more of a corner freeze, and again,
Third shot,
third shot.
maybe.
So it's a decision now for
感
China.
觉他的好像稍微近一点儿。
Curl it up.
No real percentage hitting the Scottish stone now because you're just going to leave it there.
Going hard.
Maybe even promote it.
Gotta go.
Two of the most powerful sweepers in the game,
Gotta really go.
really trying to work this.
So again, slightly light on the draw attempt.
我感觉好像他的近一点。
And a discussion now for Team China. Let's listen in and
就往后面投一
we
点
have。some options to talk about.
就这儿来一个呗。啊，来这个赢他。OK。对呀。实在不是，就最多不就是那啥？我感觉你从这边选也行。啊？这边你要停这儿的话，他有可能打这个刮这个。你从这边滑到这边。
这边有点四个没打头啊。
这边对
对，那边咱一直投，站位所有人都投那边。
明哥看好最好哪个角度，他别一打这个有这么个球啊。他别打这个有这种最好看上这停哪儿。
要停到这儿不要，停这边拿头找，对，提前后一点。
咱必须得过了他，别让他打他这个。
明白？踢线呗。对啊。
So much like Team Scotland, the entire team involved in the discussion. It's only Bad that doesn't really contribute a lot, but Zhang is really right in there. And as you mentioned, he skipped this team in the past. So even though he's playing at the lead position, he knows the options. Xu Xiaoming and Lu Ray.
And also bringing perspective from the sweepers' side, which paths they know well, where they have the most confidence with speed, with line. The front end can really bring a lot to a discussion.
So it will be the draw attempt for Lu Ray. Saw him make 2 beauties in the second end. Can he do it again?
下路可以，5可以下线，下线，5倒刷子，看好力量倒刷就行。
Well, when you hear hard whoa, that's usually in the neighborhood.
hard，往里下。
Sweeping it for line now. Comes to the back forefoot and behind cover, but is there a sliver available on the intern side?
Yeah, that tap is definitely available on the intern side.
So maybe fractionally overswept. The line was looking pretty good, but it carried a little bit deep and popped out just a little bit on the intern side. Still a very delicate shot coming up for David Murdoch, though.
You've got an 8.
An 8th. That's pretty precise.
You just need to throw dead back, back 8 weight.
Yeah.
Similar to end number 2, Murdoch was trying to throw back 8, and it's the same kind of weight that he's looking to throw here.
Maybe you're just throwing like a heavy drop.
Yeah, the difference is we get an intern on this one, or a clockwise rotating. So a little bit different, maybe a little more naturally positive off Dave's hand on this shot.
So a delicate final stone coming up for Scotland here on end number 3. Throwing back 8 weight, trying to move that Chinese stone. An opportunity for a deuce here for Scotland.
It's running on them, trying to make it curl.
Keep her going. Keep her going. It's going to be real close. Got to go in the yellow, Mike. Hard.
Oh, great brushing there. Influencing the curl a little bit, and it's a deuce for Scotland. They'll take a quick look at it. They believe are going to quickly confirm that the second point does belong to Scotland. So after 3 ends of play, big deuce there for David Murdoch. Scotland goes on top, 3-2.
Top 4. Line's good. Almost on its own.
Here underway in the 4th end.
Line's good. Still
You're
Scott.
joining us live from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. It's the Ford World Men's Curling Championship 2017, our feature match today.
Keep going.
Scotland versus China. And the teams have
Just need a touch more ice with that, Rob.
traded deuces. Nice final stone there from David Murdoch. And after being a bit light on a couple of attempts, it seemed to me, Ann, that Dave was a bit more positive with that last one. He was trying to throw back 8 weight, but it was actually more like hack. Great sweeping from his front end, influencing the path. and converts the deuce really well.
Yeah, Scotland really needed that. They really needed to make that last shot of an end, and because they had the 2 set up and the 4 set up as well. So it just was a little bit soft in execution from Dave Murdoch in ends 1 and 2. Comes up pretty big in end 3 and puts Scotland in front by a point.
This game is very much evenly poised. Here's Mike Goodfellow.
Having another outstanding game, sitting at 92% right now.
Yeah, he's early in the week, but he started the week really well. We mentioned yesterday, if you were with us for Scotland versus Japan, Mike was in the high 90s as well, so setting the table well for Team Murdoch.
Hard, race in. Hard.
Let's take a look at another of our games here. Sheet C, Switzerland versus Germany. Red stones belong to Switzerland, so it's the final rock here for Alexander Baumann of Germany.
I'm looking for
Tough shot here. Gets one. Oh, needed to come a little bit more to pop the double, but a score of 1 for Germany, so Germany's on the board, but that was a great shot. Looks like a pretty tough circumstance.
Yeah, that was a fantastic shot for a single point.
Pretty clutch there, so the Germans back in that game, but back to our feature match. Here's Scott Andrews. Once again, this end is building up along that center line.
Yeah, one of the top performing seconds here in the opening couple of games.
Coming to rest just past the tee line. Maybe 6 inches heavier than they would have liked, and they would have loved a little bit more curl, so good chance here for China.
Yeah, and super awareness for the sweepers to not put a brush to that. It's sometimes hard to not sweep. That's what these guys do. It's what most sweepers really like to do. So when sweepers are taken out of a shot, it's a skill as well.
Absolutely, knowing not to sweep. This one's got some curling to do as well. This one's got some heat. This stone to curl as well. Likewise, a little bit heavy and a little bit high side. Not bad result though for China. Let's take a look now at Sweden versus Norway, and red stones are belonging to Sweden, so a pretty difficult last shot here for Norway.
Yeah, it's a delicate counterclockwise draw. Needs full 8 foot, maybe a little bit of the 4 foot for the score of a single point. But he's navigating traffic in front of the rings. A wide section of the ice.
Stefan Wallstad.
Sweepers working hard. You can see that rock just bending towards the guard. Do they get around?
They weasel it by. Great brushing. Now will it stop?
Back it! Back it!
Comes to rest.
And just.
Oh, wow. What a great shot by Team Norway. Stefan Wallstad breathing a sigh of relief.
A sigh of relief is right.
Mike, go! Mike!
So, starting to look a little bit like a mixed doubles end here.
Yeah, all the rocks being played to the 4 foot.
Angle's now pretty good for Scotland, but things can change really quickly. Both of these teams can throw the big weight, but looks like to me like Liu Rui is thinking corner freeze. China with the hammer here on end number 4. 10 ends scheduled. Of course, we will play an extra end if the games are tied after 10. And this one end feeling very much like it's going to come down to the wire.
This is a well-contested match so far. Both teams playing excellently.
Great line. How's the weight? They don't want to bounce. Oh, that's a great shot. Perfect angle.
Pretty nice.
Ba Sheng. He's had an eventful game in the early half of this game.
Really has, but his very calm, very cool demeanor out there,
Just like
I think is serving him
antifreeze.
well.
Sure is.
Yep. That's pretty good.
Yeah, we'll
If we never just touch it,
Your stone probably won't curl as much as mine, because mine is a bit of a curl.
So that's lights in the draw of the button. Okay, so it's got to be close.
Yep.
So Greg Drummond needing just to nuzzle in there right on top. They don't want to move things around too much yet. They're just looking to hold the control angles. By getting on top of the Chinese stone, they would control both sides of the forefoot.
Small bounce.
It's almost like playing Jenga right now. They're just trying to place stones and not disturb other ones.
We're on the tee line without.
Yeah, it's just when does the tower fall? At some point, someone's going to throw something pretty hard, maybe.
Tower just got a little bit wobbly there, a little tiny repositioning. We talked about this being a bit like mixed doubles, and that stone changes all the angles. That tiny little tap, and all of a sudden,
Yeah, it's
Lu Ray saying, okay, this is looking a bit ropey all of a sudden. Scotland now could just hammer that stone they just threw and eliminate 2 of the Chinese stones. So Lu Ray's recognizing that and they're saying, I got to change the angles here somehow. Either rip the front or do something. Intriguing fourth end.
So our game's on the big screen here at Northlands Coliseum. You can see the athletes glancing up to check the angles.
Big weight there from Xu Xiaoming. Kills the front, rearranges, and well, that changes things a lot. 2 red stones belonging to Scotland. Left full in the forefoot. Look at the replay here and look at the action on these stones as they're rocketing around the house. And China was hoping for a little bit better repositioning than that. And now those,
which side am I better on?
here we go.
I think it's maybe better coming off this.
If he ever rips this double, it's still like access to this.
You have to, yeah, I think you have
But I
to.
don't want to like over curl.
So Scotland now sensing that they're in a really strong position, and the discussion is about what shot do they want to leave the Chinese and where do they want to position this guard at?
Yeah, and it's also what shot Dave wanted to have access to.
Right.
So they want to sit
5-1.
just on, as soon as we get a look at it, the thrower's left side of center.
Halfway. Halfway.
Reese, nice. Line's good.
Halfway.
Line's good. 2, guys.
3.
Line should be good.
3. 2.5. 2.5.
Yep.
Starting to curl a little bit.
Yep. Hard. Hard. Kick. Kick.
Comes to rest just
Perfectly.
as Swiss Helm called it, just touching the center line on the right-hand side of our picture.
The left-hand side of the thrower. So we look in on Team USA with an opportunity in the fourth end. They've got a wide open hit here for John Schuster.
Clean. Yep. Clean. Clean. Whoa.
No panic in the voices there, so they're
Nope.
feeling pretty happy about this, I'd say.
Nice and calm. Matt Hamilton just cleaning that rock right in. 2 points.
USA with a 4-2 lead in that one. As I said, we'll keep you across all of the action here. We've got 4 sheets of action this morning. It's Monday morning here in Edmonton. Draw 6 of the Ford World Men's Curling Championships.
And on our feature sheet, the second run back by Xu Xiaoming did not accomplish what they were hopeful to. Scotland still sits 2.
Go and hurry them up and touch, Mike.
Yeah, great chance here for Scotland to really put the roof on the house and take everything away really from Team China.
Yeah, exactly.
Lu Rei's going to have some angle run-ins there on the right-hand side, but they're pretty low percentage.
Yeah, and they really don't get them anything. If Dave Murdoch can put the rock right where he wants to, which is right on top of the 4, center line.
Not a great deal to work with for Team China, so great opportunity here for Scotland. Olympic silver medalist David Murdoch.
Okay, line's good. Line to go touch for weight.
Yep, line's good.
Just bite your knee.
Yep, hard.
All in, guys.
Hard.
Just bite your knee.
Hard.
Line's real good.
Keep going.
Come on, right to the 8 foot.
By the guard, they didn't want to disturb the
they
guard.
need to go a little bit deeper, just a little bit deeper.
Over curls, they would have liked to be right between those 2 red stones, but
And all of a sudden, there's an opportunity for China.
let's take a look now at Switzerland versus Germany. We saw the great shot by Alexander Baumann in the previous end, and now Switzerland's lying 1, and boy, how do they get 2 here, Ann? Pretty much only one way, isn't there?
Yeah, draw the button.
Put it on the lid.
Put it right on the button. And Benoit Schwartz, skip. Actually, I should say 4th stones.
Yeah, Peter de Cruz skipping the team, but Benoit Schwartz throwing the 4 stones. Here comes that 4th stone, needs a piece of the button. Look at that, what a great shot.
Beautiful draw.
Very Guy Hemmings-esque there, drawing the side of the button when you need it. No backing, great shot. So tiny opening here for Team China. That stone of Murdoch's over curls, so Lu Rei now with a chance to make a pass at those Scottish stones.
Yeah, make a little bit of a double takeout here and take control of the top of the 4 foot. He may not be shot with the Scottish rock in the back of the 4 foot being 3rd.
He'll need to be quite near that guard to make the shot.
He's close.
Good looking stone here for Rei, and wow. How do you like that? This end has swung around like a weather vane. Great shot there from Lu Rei.
Teams go the way of their skips. All the great setup shots in the world need to be finished. They need to be finished. With that, Dave's got a good opportunity here. He can get back in there.
He can definitely, he's got some options. He can jump off his own. Problem getting to that 1 at the top of the 8 foot is the angles are bad. The Chinese stone will just jam back on the Scottish stone in the back of the 4. China with the hammer, so Murdoch with just 1 to come, he has to be a bit cautious. And there we get a great look at it. Red stones belong to Scotland, yellow stones belong to China. That stone of China in the top 4 foot. They're taking a look to see who's shot. And on first look, you'd say it's China, but Scotland's saying well, maybe it's us.
I like this.
Yeah, I think it's Scotland in the back of the 4 foot.
And that's quite important when you're trying to make this decision.
So a nice discussion on the weight.
Over curl with nothing. Yeah, I think barrier up anything low side roll there. Like this. Yeah.
So Murdoch's aware that he can use his own stone in the back 4 foot as a catcher. If he catches it a bit thin and comes into this area in the back of the 4 foot, he can use his own stone and he'll be behind cover. And bad angles for China.
And
so he's
hopefully,
got some options.
yeah, because right now the angles are definitely in favor of Team China if they can get through the port. Just touch the red stones there on the top of the 4 foot.
So it's
They'll
not,
sit
not
1
often
and 2.
Yeah, not often in a game that you're playing a takeout on your own stone, but here's a chance to use it to reposition.
Yeah, you've got to use what's available to you. Seeing opposition's rocks as your friend. Hitting and rolling off your own for an access point. Power sweeping to hold the line here.
Really thin, goes behind the stone and creeps to the back of the 4 foot. So no doubt about it now, China's definitely lying 1. And they're quite fortunate that that didn't squirt further back. Otherwise, this would be a draw for 3. As it is, there's a draw available for 2. There we see a great look at it. That red stone belonging to Scotland creeps to the back of the 4 foot. Team China is saying maybe we can get 3. If we
I
can
think
get,
they can get 3.
if we can just draw and catch a piece of our own at the top of the 4 foot, and it's a short split, you have to catch it really thin. But a risk-reward thing. You're probably getting 2 anyways, and it's worth a try.
Yeah, I think you set the ice for your 2.
Yeah.
I think you secure your score of 2 points. Very valuable to put a 2-point score on the board right now. Momentum mover. And if you've got the line and you've got the weight, you can go for the little split for 3, but you have to secure your 2.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. You can't be thinking too much about the split. You got to get that deuce first. So here we go, everybody. Fasten your seatbelts. Lou Ray, final stone coming at you on end number 4. A draw and possibly a split.
5、6、5、6，
下线啊！
保持
我说力
力量，
量，极限，
线路没问题，
下线，
极限，线路没问题，极限，
下线，够，看看。
极限，往极限。
Weight looks good. Sweepers look relatively unconcerned. They're going for the straight draw, and they've got it.
Right on the tee line. So great judgment from Team China. And they convert after an intriguing 4th end of play. Lou Ray drills it right on the tee line, and China goes in front, 4-3.
给它大点儿，打边儿稍微一点儿，它就稍微直一点儿，
在这个
调度
啥
稍微缓点儿。
看一下这是从头。
In the universe that is distinctively curling, the stars have now aligned to deliver the world's ultimate showdown to the world's entertainment capital. Whether you're a storied veteran of events past or a future superfan anxious to attend your first, this is the one. The 2018 World Men's in Las Vegas with our most popular package, the 9-day, 10-night hit and stay for 2 people for just $20.29.
Las Vegas rocks.
Welcome back inside the Northlands Coliseum here in Edmonton, Monday morning, day 3. It's live coverage of the Ford World Men's Curling Championship. Hans Frauenlob here with Ann Swisshelm from the USA, and great deuce there for Team China in the 4th end. The teams are just throwing deuces back and forth, and this one is evenly poised, and some great shooting there in that 4th end.
Really some fantastic shots made by all the players, except for the skip from Scotland, Dave Murdoch. Just over-curled and came up a little light on his first one, and over-curled and basically took himself out on his second one. And again, Team Scotland setting the table nicely. They just need to finish the end. And with the hammer, playing 5, they'll look to set up their score of 2.
Half open's good.
Conversely, Lou Ray for China, we've seen him have the ends that they've had the hammer. In the second end, he made 2 fantastic draws to the button for his deuce, and they're on end number 4. Great hit, repositioning the stones on his first, and then he drills the tee line on his second one, so
Yeah.
he's having a great game.
I mean, that's the difference, right? That's the difference of the end. Liu Ray makes a double takeout and a draw to split the tee line, a tough draw for 2, and Dave Murdoch gets half shots out of both of his.
And the tolerances are really fine because there were so many stones in play, so what's a half shot is really a stone being maybe a half a rock from the intended rock location. So it's tiny tolerances, but at this level, at the World Championship level, those things make a huge difference, don't they?
They sure do.
Right on top. Right on top.
Mentioned curling in China. So this team is from Harbin, and talked about the 2018 Winter Olympics in Pyeongchang, South Korea, but of course the 2022 Winter Olympics are going to be in Beijing, China. The water cube from the Summer Olympics will become the ice cube for curling at the 2022 Winter Olympics. But let's have a look now at Sweden, Norway.
The Scandinavian battle on sheet D. Skip Niklas Edin, world champion, Olympic medalist. Throwing his
really positive release, isn't it?
Bread and butter shot, a double takeout. Oh, and he
squeezes it by the back one. Great shot by Edin.
For a 3-1 lead after 4 ends.
Well, as you said, Ann, Niklas Edin, world champion, and showing you why right there. You just smile when you see shots like that. They almost feel routine, but they're anything but.
Yeah, and this one looks pretty good here for Team Scotland. A nice run back, repositioning the angles, opening up the front, creating a corner guard as well. Got a lot out of that shot.
Sure did. Changed all the angles. Scott Andrews. And now Vadishing. Done a bit of everything in this game, and we're not even halfway through. Careful placement of that center guard.
Beautifully thrown, well managed all the way down the sheet.
There's so much late finish in these stones, and guard placement can be really challenging when they're going almost sideways at the end.
Scott Andrews looking to play the run back again. Oh, just hairs by.
Hoping to get a little action on those stones at the top of the rings, and disappointment there for Andrews. Watch how close this comes to that stone in the top 12 foot. Almost a spark. Yellow stones belong to China. Here is Zhou Shaiming trying to throw another one up there and build the wall, the Great Wall of China.
This one's very light.
And this one's really curling.
Very light stone.
Is it over? And it's short. Oh my goodness.
We have seen everything in this game.
Gosh, don't want to make light of it, but you're exactly right, Ann. We have seen a little bit of everything. Things you expect, things you don't expect, and now a hogged rock. That stone had to be over that black line to be in play, and comes up short.
Now Scotland's got a chance to make a run, double takeout, and sit 1 and 2 in the house, 1 underneath the corner guard, and potentially 1 underneath the long off-center guard.
Big shot here for Greg Drummond.
There it goes, grabs the center line, starts to shift. 1, 2, and nice roll under that corner.
Great shot there for Greg Drummond from Scotland. So China paying the price for not setting their guard. Scotland makes them pay. And Drummond admires his work, rightfully so.
He looks just very much like, oh yeah, just another run, double takeout, split the house, sit 2.
Yep, what's for lunch?
That's great. Well, that's his job.
It is his
Throw the
job.
weight, hit the broom.
Make the shot.
It's a simple game. Now this is a big shot after the miss the last time. This is where you see how tough a player is mentally, what they're made of. He's being asked to make a hit and roll or a double takeout, make up for the hogged stone. He does a nice job.
Pushes the Scottish stone sideways, not out of the rings, but out towards the edge of the 8 foot. So nice recovery there from Xu Xiaoming
A
after
little
the
bit.
hog rocked.
That's a sigh of relief after the first one. He could maybe come down to a skip with his head held high.
Yeah, sorry about that. All right, but I made the second one pretty good.
Yeah, so Greg had a complicated shot on his first one. It's these simple open shots that really make the life much simpler for the team when you execute these.
Trying to get a bit more separation, sweeping it out to the wing. Good shot.
Really nice shot.
Nice stone management there from Team Scotland, repositioning. They've got the hammer.
Good sweep, Mikey.
Teams have been trading deuces for the last 3 ends, and feels like there's another deuce in the wind right here.
Yeah, and there should have been a deuce in the first end. It should be, we should have seen deuce, 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 deuce so far.
So if you're a fan of taking advantage with the hammer, you're liking this game.
Yeah, you're getting lots of lessons on this game.
So chance now for Liu Rui. Pretty unrealistic to think the double takeout is on, but he's going to try and close the house up a little bit and at least roll his own stone towards the other Scottish counter. Got a little inside roll, but maybe a little oversweep there. A bit of
Yeah,
a panic sweeping call.
Yeah, just a little excited at release. And when you sweep so early, when you pound hard right out of release, you hold the rock straight and you take the natural curl out of the ice. So,
Especially when the weight's up like that, right?
yeah. So what looked like maybe a narrow release coming off the hand of Skip Liu Rui. Sweepers hit it hard early and then actually took the line out of the shot.
It's kind of on a rail after that. So David Murdoch now looking to remove the Chinese stone and again get some good separation between the rocks.
Oh, this shot's curling hard.
Well, certainly not going to split the house, and the angle's much better now for Liu Rui on his last one to maybe try a double takeout.
Yeah, and the double might stick him dead behind that guard.
Well, let's take a look quickly now at Italy versus the United States, and USA lying 1 now for Amos Mossano, the Italian 4th stone, trying his last rock here. He's going to have to draw.
Needs full 8 foot
Sliding right into your living room there.
to outcount the USA stone hidden behind the corner.
Team Italy had a nice day yesterday. Some good wins and nice stone here from Amos, comfortably into the T-line area. So Italy tightening that game up, put 1 on the board, but the USA leads that one 4-3 at 5. Back now to a big shot here in our feature match. Liu Rui of China. Chance here to get his team out of the end. A steepish attempt at a double takeout.
He's close, real close.
There's 1.
Wonderful
There's
shot.
2 right behind the guard. Great shot by Liu Rui. Bails his team out of the end. This man is on fire.
And with that outstanding shot, here we get a great look at 1 spin,
Stuffs it right
double
behind the guard.
takeout, right behind the guard.
So from potentially dropping at 2, now China is forcing Dave Murdoch to draw the 4-foot to save 1. Wow, what a turnaround.
Touch on from that shot.
Coming into the 5th end break, that'll be a real lift for Team China, but focus now on David Murdoch. Big rock for him.
Line's good.
This may be the shot of the game for Dave.
Hold its line. Should come down. Starting to curl. 13-9.
Sweepers
Guys
seem
now
pretty
just
happy with it.
pulling it into the 4-foot, just making sure.
And the veteran Murdoch delivers, draws coolly to the button, saving his 1, but what might have been for Team Scotland. We go to the 5th end break. Scotland levels the match with that draw for 1. After 5 ends of play here at the Northlands Coliseum, it's Scotland 4, China 4. Highlights of our feature match, Scotland versus China at play in end number 2. Last stone to come here for China's Lu Rui.
哦，这个点有点大。
可以下去啊。
极限非常非常好，可以碰，可以碰，可以碰。
Not much to draw to here. Needs a piece of the button here for his second point, and perfect. Third end now. Last stone to come for Scotland's David Murdoch.
Wayne's good, back kick.
It's going to be real close. Got to go to the yellow, mate.
Trying to push the Chinese stone back through the rings, and perfect line, perfect weight, great sweeping from the front end, and Scotland deuces right back. End number 4. An intriguing end of lots of taps and freezes, and now the last stone, Lu Rui, needs a piece of the forefoot, has to put it on the tee line to score 2. And look at that precision from the Chinese skip, drills it right on the tee line, cashes in the deuce. And so after 5 ends of play, this one is tied up at 4. Progress from our other games here in the morning draw, Monday morning. United States leading 4-3 over Italy on sheet A. On sheet C, we've got Switzerland with a 4-2 lead over Germany. And on sheet D, Battle of Scandinavia, Sweden is on top in a tight one there, 3-2.
Second one, you just didn't feel like you just didn't pop it like you did your first one? Your second draw in the first game, did you just feel like you didn't pop it?
No, I just said here, like, it's just like, play through back
Okay.
four. Yeah.
No, yeah, I got it.
Yeah, it's tough when you, like, you're wide and heavy there, you give up 3. So, you've got to be walking through somewhere.
Some interesting conversation there from the Scottish camp. Team China with consulting with their coach Marcel Rock.
Need a little bit? One bite? No, you're good? You're good? Okay. And enjoy. You're playing good. Let's do what we do. Let's go to work. Details, right?
Yeah.
You okay? Time. Pay attention to time.
Here we have a look at the statistics after 5 ends of play. Nothing to pick between them in the shooting percentage department, and we talked about the hammer efficiency of both teams. No stolen points in this game, so really this is as tight as it possibly can be on the scoreboard. Statistically, both teams have had chances, but China with a possible slight advantage here, carrying the hammer tied up into end number 6. But boy, this one could go either way, Ann.
Yeah, and China's ability to score 2 with the hammer has been outstanding.
And that's what the teams are playing for here in Edmonton. World Championship trophy. There we see the line score, and we see all those deuces.
Yeah, the story of this game, hammer efficiency and force efficiency for Team China so far.
Heard Marcel Rock talking to his team at the 5th end break, and he didn't really have to say too much. He said, you guys are playing good, feeling good, keep doing what you're doing. And good coaching there from Marcel. He recognizes that there's nothing to correct really. They just need to stay focused and keep executing the way that they are.
They are playing a really steady game. Even when they've had a couple of missteps, they've bounced big. And Scotland has opened the door for some of those opportunities, and China has taken advantage of it with some excellent execution.
No, that's exactly right, Anne. Sorry for the interruption, but you're right. You know, Dave Murdoch's last stone there in 5 left the door open for Lou Ray to make a double takeout, and he cashed it in, turned the end around, and generated the force. So impressive play from both teams, but China executing when it really counts. So how will this one turn out? Scotland came into this game on a 2-1 record. They lost to Norway in the opening draw, but had wins over the USA and Japan yesterday.
Top 4.
China lost their opening 2 matches to Sweden and to Italy, but bounced back with a pretty hard-fought win over Russia, who changed their lineup for the game against China. Russia still looking for their first victory. They've got the morning off. They've got the bye. 12 teams in this event, 4 sheets of ice. That means every draw 4 teams are having a rest while the other 8 are playing. Zhang Xiaolang. The straw that stirs the drink for Team China, you think, Ann?
Absolutely. He is definitely a high energy player. He provides a lot of energy to his team, keeps them up, weight calls, all of the communication. He drives a lot of that from the front end. And he also makes some great shots. This one just might be a hair heavy, sitting a little bit on the outside, but still nicely placed.
So, as we've seen so often in this game, stones starting to accumulate in the 4-foot area.
Easy, just.
So again, a little bit of, not indecision from the Scots, but Scott Andrews was wanting to play about back 8-foot weight. Dave Murdoch says, no, I just want T-line.
Yeah, just want to.
Good. Push. Small bump. Push for line. Yes, small bump. Line only. Yep. 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 Yep.
Drummond and Goodfellow on the brushes. Oh, nice weight control there.
Really great shot.
Even though China's lying too, the angles and the potential taps there for Scotland looking pretty dangerous to Lou Ray, so he's going to ask Ba Desheng to clear. We saw a nice reset there, and that's a interesting moment, isn't it? Clears the front.
Scotland's going to try and put that rock right back.
Halfway. A little tight. Hit the line, Greg. A little tight. Hit the line if you can. Line's good. 2.5. Line's good now. 2.5, 3.
We did hear a comment from Marcel Rock at the 5th end break asking the Chinese player to keep an eye on time, so maybe they're just moving out of the hack. There's really no time trouble for either team. They both got plenty, 38 minutes of thinking time, and both teams in the 19-minute range, so time clock's not really a concern for either team.
That was a great shot. Listening to the communication coming down there from Team Scotland, saying, hit it early, hold the line if you can. And what they mean is sweep early, you'll hold it straight, we'll be able to finish it at the end as long as it doesn't have too much weight. And perfectly placed draw, guard.
Straddling that center line, so now Ba Desheng is going to try and rip that one and maybe careen it into the stones in the house. Chips his own out, so kills the guards, rolls it over to the corner. And there's Ba saying, okay, well, that looks different now.
再放一放。
Not perfect, but it's okay.
也行。
Changes the angle on that Scottish stone in the top forefoot as well, fractionally.
Yeah, not against that.
Just lock it in there. Just the same way I threw. Just like it, no, T-weight tap.
Might be a situation where Greg Drummond wants to come down and have a look.
Same shot I had to end ago.
Yep.
They're pretty settled now what they want to play. And mentioned the players can see what you're seeing on the overhead screens here, so they don't have to go down to the other end to look at rock positions. They can just look up at the screen.
Top four.
They can rely on the great work
Run's good here.
by the crew here.
Whoa.
Absolutely.
Check out the angles
Big
without
shout,
moving an inch.
big shout out to our crew. They're bringing you a fantastic
Hard line.
pictures and sound here from Edmonton.
This one over curling a hair.
Okay. Go mind
Still
it.
in a really good spot. Lots of control rocks for Scotland in front of the rings. Unfortunately, with that angle,
Is there a triple takeout here? If he
there's
catches
a couple of different doubles for certain.
catches
but
the
looks
top
like-
one really thin,
Yeah.
maybe all three Chinese stone or Scottish stones might go.
They could.
保点帮忙镇定也行。
His shooter may spin up and out of the rings. Leave a fairly wide open house afterwards, but
Xu Xiaoming at 65% for the game, so we saw a hog rock earlier from him. Great opportunity to come back, and now he blows it by the stone in the top forefoot. So removes two Scottish stones. He's saying, how did that happen?
离着他
How did I miss that one in the top four?
我想想刮那个下边那个。
yeah, the angles were just a little tough, and as somewhat predicted, his shooter bounced up and out of play. I would have liked to have seen the other turn on that shot, actually.
Yeah, I agree. I think
and
the
then
outturn was the shot to play.
Firm.
But
I
a
think the
little,
shooter sticks around in a control spot then.
a little less danger now, though, for Team China.
Firm.
Still a good opportunity for Scotland here to set up a deuce.
Yep, go, 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 go.
Scotland lies two.
Yeah, I think Scotland's really hoping for a blank here. I know it sounds interesting, hoping that China blanks this, and
Next week, Mikey.
then Scotland will go for the force and 7. And as Leo Ray lines up the double takeout, if he makes this, he'll pop under the corner.
Yeah. So another chance here for Xu Xiaoming to maybe set China up for their deuce.
唐元晓，
I think end and hammer management at this point in the game is really, really important.
Pretty quiet weight here. More concerned about the roll than the double takeout. Just pushes the Scottish stone out of the rings, and they
Doesn't
were,
quite get under cover.
yeah, maybe half hidden.
So now's a choice for Scotland. They're going to play the takeout.
Dave Murdoch sensing that this is the best chance for a force. There we get a great look at it. Thanks, team. That one corner's hidden, so you can't throw big weight at it, but it's certainly available.
Control seemed to move a touch.
I think barrier will be the call.
Barrier weight coming at you.
Maybe hack.
Hackish barrier.
And that's the story of this game right here. 65% for Dave Murdoch. Uncharacteristically low
Clean.
on the
Nice
statistical side.
Not heavy.
Yep, yep.
Not heavy. Whoa. Weight's good.
He's got quite a few shots left in this game, though. Needs one right here.
Good.
Nice weight control there from Murdoch, and Scotland lies 2.
Yeah, really.
These ones are pretty flat, but Lou Ray's going to try and close the play up a little bit. Hit the stone on the right-hand side as we're looking at it here, and roll his own towards that Scottish stone in the forefoot. And really, it's going to depend how much weight he plays at this.
Xiao Xiaoming really likes the freeze. He keeps looking at it, but
Yeah,
he keeps looking at it. But his skip wants to throw this hit and roll or double. Not quite sure which one they're looking for.
Yeah, he's trying to sit in front or maybe corner freeze the stone in the back forefoot if he's got great angle, but he'll have to throw a lot of weight to do that.
Yeah, I think Team Scotland, again, would be real happy to see the double takeout made here. Counterintuitive maybe for fans out there to root for the opposition to make a double takeout, but that means that this end likely would be blanked.
There's the spin over towards that rock. Well, how do you get your freeze? Maybe that way. Corner freeze, but pretty good result. That's as good as you could go, I think, on that shot
Yeah.
from Lou Ray. And now a decision here for Scotland.
Hard sweeping front end. Zhang Zhaliang and Badushin doing everything they can to get that rock over there.
Precision curling from Lou Ray. He is having a blinder. Stone actually curled as it was moving towards the back stone, but all those corner frozen. There we see Lou Ray looking at the crowd. Scotland can pop this one out and spin away and lie to and still generate their force.
Okay, let's take a touch more then if you want. Let's stay here, Greg.
Not much room for error here for Mr. Murdoch.
I think how you look at this is just a simple takeout.
Yep.
Hair down.
Yep.
Hair down.
Yep. Hard. Whoa. Whoa. Yep.
I mean, the margin for error on this shot's actually quite big.
Rolls it away, creates a pocket. And now if you're China, are you tempted to try the blank by hitting the outside rock and ping-ponging everything out of the house? Or it's a bit of a teaser.
Yeah, looks like he's going to try and
Hit the outside rock
Play
first, bounce off the inside rock, kill everything, and squirt his own forward. But hits the back one a little bit thick, and maybe even Scotland might steal. So it's a risky proposition.
Yeah, I think he's really got to hit the inside rock first in order to guarantee that there isn't a steal.
Yeah, that would be a shot that would basically guarantee the force for Scotland, but definitely the safer play. After all the hard work that they've done to get themselves a small advantage, they don't want to throw it away by trying a really risky shot for a blank. Not sure if it's physically possible that he could just whistle it right through the hole. So here we go. Last stone on end number 6 for Chinese skip Lou Ray. Throwing in the heat.
It's a little wide here. It's not how you wanted to play this.
1, 2, kills both the Scottish stones, so it is the force.
Works out anyway.
Yeah, big weight. Good precision there, but a good result for Scotland. They get the force. China takes the lead after 6 ends of play, 5-4.
Made a wee bit of time there up as well. That's about equal on time.
Nice, nice, nice. Good guys.
In the universe that is distinctively curling, the stars have now aligned to deliver the world's ultimate showdown to the world's entertainment capital. Whether you're a storied veteran of events past or a future superfan anxious to attend your first, this is the one. The 2018 World Men's in Las Vegas with our most popular package, the 9-day, 10-night hit and stay for 2 people for just $20.29.
Las Vegas rocks.
back to the Northlands Coliseum in Edmonton. Our feature match, Monday morning draw here at the Ford World Men's Curling Championship. China versus Scotland, and Scotland with the force on end number 6, and so they take the hammer into the 7th.
And China looking to force in 7. They throw the center guard up.
Line's good.
It's a real arm wrestle now at end, isn't it, to try and get control of the hammer in the even ends as we head towards the business end of this contest.
Line's good. Oh, it's going over curling.
Scotland will take opportunities to go for 2 points here, but they're going to take them in a very conservative way.
Good weight, mate. Good.
No, I like it.
Top 4 foot there for a good fellow. Let's take a look now at Italy versus the USA. Lots of rocks in play in that one. Looks like a red Italian stone in the top of the 4 foot. So last stone to come here for US skip John Schuster.
It's clockwise rotating draw. Skip calls out, it's a little heavy.
I need a stopper. Well, there's
So-
lots of defense behind the tee line.
Great information from the thrower right away that he's heavy. Allows his team a chance to use everything they've got
Wow.
to
Well,
get their single point.
good read, doing it the hard way, but as you said, Ann, fantastic communications. And the net result, 1 for the US, and they take a 2-point lead in that game versus Italy. Back to our feature match, Scotland versus China. Here's my good fella.
Top 8.
And Ann, you said that the Scots will be
I feel like we're all there.
conservative in their approach to the deuce. So explain to that in terms of the situations
So
that would
if they
do
were
go.
if they were aggressively going for 2, they would have thrown up a corner guard. They would have said, ignore your center, we're going super hard for 2 points here. So when I say conservative, they bring the play to the middle, they come around that center guard, and you can see with 2 excellent shots from lead Michael Goodfellow that they have complete control of the center right now. At some point, they'll have to address the center guard. The tactics we've seen from Scotland is that happens usually on second stone or thirds first.
Body shin.
With that, China is equally as happy to put these stones in play. Their goal is to force Scotland to score in this end. And the acceptable outcome is Scotland getting 2. China keeps the hammer in 8 and then the 10th end and the tactical advantage.
Just feathers the Scottish stone in the front of the house. They would have liked to just sneak by it, but angle's still pretty good here for China.
Yeah, now I think I was gonna say, now we're gonna see the earliest call we've seen on the peel to center for Scotland with that shot.
But then we're going for 2. I don't mind that. It's one of those 2 shots.
Who will blink first?
So with that comment, Dave said, if we're going in here, we're going for 2.
Yeah, just bring that into the open here.
So maybe a little bit of switch from the conservative or the soft setup of 2 to,
Let's push the go button.
yes.
Top 4. Waist close. Small bump this now. Small bump. Almost T. Just Mike. Small bump.
And I think this is a pretty good choice for
Perfect.
Scott Andrews as he's thrown
Small bump.
perfect draws all game. And there's another one.
Changes the angles importantly on those 2 yellow Chinese stones. So still threatening, but looking better for Scotland. They're lying 1. They've got the hammer here on the 7th, and now Lou Ray is surveying the situation, saying, "Oh, trouble brewing here." So while China sizes that up, take an opportunity to sneak a peek at the Sweden versus Norway game.
And Norway putting pressure on the very experienced Swedish team. Skip Nicodine needing put a rock right in the rings. Looking calm, relatively unconcerned. He knows his front end. Got his rock well in hand.
comfortably into the 4-foot there. So single point for Sweden, a good force for Norway. So they'll take the hammer into the next end, but Sweden breaking on top, 4-2. Meanwhile, back here on our feature match, Scotland-China, here is Ba Deshing. Key rock coming up really in the context of this end.
Absolutely.
Scotland with the hammer, lots of things in play. China trying to force, trying to reposition and change the angles yet again.
And that was a lovely little tap.
Nice. Great weight control there and line control from Team China.
Okay. Right in the beak then. Okay.
This is likely going to leave China lying 2.
Scott Andrews.
Yep. Hard. Hard.
Running them back. Well, not a bad result for Scotland. 2 Chinese stones sitting now behind the tee line. Runs the stone back. Murdoch really did need to do something with that cluster of stones in the front of the house, didn't he? And so
yeah, and after the excellent tap, his options were not great. So the good news for Scotland is they've kept a couple of their rocks around in the rings. They changed some of the angles. They still look decidedly in favor of Team China right now.
So now Xu Xiaoming, we saw in the previous trip down in this direction, he hogged an attempted guard, so critical now the rock placement here on this stone for China. Great brushing there from the Chinese front end. A little feather on that stone, and the 8 changes the angle. That actually works out really well for China.
Yeah, that little nudge at the end.
Big smiles from Ba Deshing. Thanks, guys. Good sweeping.
He loves to sweep.
Now let's take a look at Switzerland, Germany.
Switzerland sitting in an excellent position. They're already shot 1. And Benoit Schwarz, 4th stones, needs to touch that 8-foot for a score of 2. Sweepers, Valentin Tanner, Claudio Patz. Guiding this one all the way down the sheet. Right into that 8-foot, ultimately the 4-foot. Score 2.
Oh, well, this Swiss team now firmly in control, and I'm liking the look of Team Switzerland. They're looking like they're getting on a bit of a roll here.
Yeah, they look very comfortable, very calm out there. Like this is their house.
Right.
And yeah, it's good. Team Scotland quietly putting a couple of rocks around the 8-foot here.
Accumulating, and there's that other red stone, of course, on the wing of 12-foot. Quick update across the sheets. USA leading Italy 5-3. China leading Scotland 5-4 in this one, but Scotland with the hammer. We saw just now that Switzerland's leading Germany 6-2, and Sweden leading Norway 4-2 in the 7th end. Scotland with the hammer here on the 7th, but things looking pretty good for China. If Xu Xiaoming can hit and jump off of this Scottish stone in towards the 4-foot and maybe sit on top of his own or get to the button, China would be in fantastic shape. All about where this rock rolls to, however.
Oh, it's close.
There's the hit, there's the roll, little bounce, comes forward. Yeah, well, gosh, not bad.
It's going to be, I think, impossible to get to the inside with enough force for Scotland to make the triple, as it were. But
triple's definitely not there, but
all you need
can
to
they
do,
get inside? If they can just wiggle it inside this shooter, leave his stone corner frozen on the Chinese rock on the button, and then Scotland would be looking pretty good for a chance at a deuce and maybe more. But big shot here for Drummond.
Holding the line, Scott Andrews working really, really hard.
Must get by the guard in the front of the house,
And
just
he
by
does.
it.
Oh, real nice.
Very good stone for Scotland. Great position now, and the angles are great for that stone in the front of the button.
Good.
China lies too, but they know that red Scottish stone is the danger rock. Now it's how brave are you? Do you dare to try and guard it out?
现在一个进吗？俩进。
Yeah, I don't know that China has much of a choice, quite frankly. China's got 2 rocks left. In order to get rid of that Scottish stone, you'd need both of them, and you're going to have to lose your stones in the process.
Good news for China is the stones at the front of the rings are overlapped,
Yeah.
so it makes it very difficult to run back for Scotland.
Yeah, I like what they're looking at. They're looking at the guard here. I wouldn't mind something a little tighter into the rings,
他
knowing.
一打这个，这个容易没了。还得先站这个一半，贴上中线。
There we get a great look at it. Thanks, team, from our overhead. You see that stones on the center line at the front of the 12-foot. Yellow-red angled away from the button, so that's almost a small guard for China right there.
It
The
is.
danger stone for the Chinese is that red Scottish rock just in front of the button. So they're talking about taking away the access for David Murdoch and guarding that stone. There we see some of the Chinese fans looking on intently. Big moment in the game coming up.
Yeah, that was a team discussion. That was one of the first ones we've seen where all 4 players down, making sure they know exactly where they want this rock. They understand that this is a pivotal shot and potentially a game-winning shot at this point. I know there's a lot of rocks to come, but
You know, a steal of 1 for China in this end would be almost decisive, wouldn't it?
二取二取，看一下，二
Liu Ray
下一线，
trying to guard.
二取稍微一点，二三往下路可以，慢点，
Trying to throw it about 4 or 5 feet short of the rings, just off the center line.
刷位置稍小一点，再来一点，再来一点，好
and it's almost like they walked it down.
Want it right there. And that's where it is. Great shot. So now, how will Murdoch approach this situation?
Is there anything in the middle for him?
Yeah, I think we're better. I think we're better. Time.
Scotland calling timeout. Now they realize that this is a big decision, so they're going to call coach Ian Tetley onto the ice surface.
And then if he does guard, then you've got
Lots of options there for Team Scotland, and none of them good, quite frankly. Here comes Ian Tetley.
3-time world champion.
This way, Ian. There you go.
On it here.
Sometimes the access is a little challenging.
I like it, yeah.
It opens it up. Great, if you make it, you probably have a shot with your last. Exactly. We need to get this away and this away.
Yeah, you need to move the yellow.
Like, because even if we nut it, okay,
Yeah.
we nut, this clicks this.
Yeah.
We got to kill
With
one
shooter's
yellow.
rolled. Yeah.
It's better. I'm not sure we get anything out of playing this right now.
Not right.
We're thinking run the yellow. Like across.
Yeah.
Like this is probably, we either nut it and we click this, or we nut it and half this off, this comes back. And
Dave, if you dead nose the center yellow, do you think you get this one?
no.
No, eh?
Dave, this is a shot.
I like this. We get something.
You get something. I think if you nose the yellow, you might be close to
You
clicking,
sure?
but then it's still steel point. We got a shot with that.
We need something.
There wouldn't be any. You don't think there'd be any carry?
This? Oh, you're
No.
not even.
If you almost dead nose that yellow, even if you just kick the yellow out there, do you think you're not click the?
Not even close.
Really?
Not even close.
You'll click the 5, but not the 6.
No, that's all I'm thinking is just killing the one, because then you got the run. You got your rock there, then you got this rock here as well. No?
Coach Tetley encouraging the play on
Go
the
with your
stone in
gut,
the
Davey. Go with your gut.
center line in the yellow stone, the 12-foot. The others are looking at the yellow guard double run in.
7/8 3/4.
Tetley thinking that he could play the center stone and pick off the stone on the button.
3/4 is real close.
So the team's gone with the run selection. And knowing if they get this, this is a high level of production. The one possible challenging thing is if they make it, there is a chance that they can just spin off their own red a little bit. The red's in the house. That's right about where they want to hit it.
The angles are intriguing here for Team Scotland. Here it comes, David Murdoch.
Big deal. Whoa. Whoa. Yep. Whoa. Whoa. Beauty.
What a fantastic shot.
It's a great result for Scotland. Rearranges all the stones. China's lying one, but boy, oh boy, danger time for Team China.
That's as good as we could get. I think.
Good as we can get. I think that's dead right, Dave.
That's absolutely beautiful shot.
Best shot we could have got, I think.
Moves 4 or 5 stones, but importantly leaves his own sitting on the front of the forefoot as a result. The angles are excellent for Scotland.
And all of a sudden, the entire front is cleared on that out-turn side. There's ways in. Really just a beautiful shot by Team Scotland.
So now
I'm not sure if there's a double available for...
I don't think
Leo.
there is. I'm
Yeah.
wondering now if they're just thinking, okay, concede the 2.
Concede the 2 as opposed to anything that's a chance of 3. So they're going to pick this one.
Still talking about it. I don't think they've entirely settled on the shot. Lou Ray's in the hack, though. He's ready to throw it. Let's see.
Yeah, looks like they're going to pick that stone right next to the third's brush through the hole.
Quiet looking weight. They might be making the play on the
They
stone
are.
on the left-hand
They
side.
are.
Try to push the other or Scottish stone sideways. This one's got a lot of curling to do, though. Jam coming up. Need it to curl a lot. Pushes that Scottish stone. Oh, I think they got away with one there just into the half of the 8-foot, but dangerous play there.
This is a double for 3 for Scotland now. And you almost have to play it because the draw isn't available.
You never get lucky. Yeah. I think it's just a hack, eh?
You've got more room for more than hack if you want to. Take a look.
I think it's almost wide open, edge to edge on that stone. They play the out turn.
I think so. You just got to watch we don't over curl and stuff this.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that'll be second.
Okay.
You can even play barrier up, Dave. Your call, but just it's definitely there.
Okay.
Whatever weight you're comfy with.
Okay. Well, let's splatter up at this one. Right in the beat. Should come down.
So it's a double takeout, but it's going to be with barrier weight, board
Yep,
weight. But
board
if he-
weight.
But if he gets to nose, chance here for Scotland to score 3. That would be huge.
We're thinking barrier up. We'll get lucky, we'll get the click.
Yep.
Just got to watch the over curl and stuff it. So.
Yep. Let's make 2.
David worried a little bit about over curling in the jam, but the angle's really steep there, so it's hard to see him doing damage on his own rock on the front of the button.
Yeah, he wasn't worried about that so much as if it does
Jam on the
stick
back.
on the back one,
Right.
then they only get 1. They want to make sure they get 2. So hitting on the high side is a little better than the low side.
This is close.
Oh, it must be close.
They actually overswept it, and it's only a score of 2 for Scotland, but a big 2 in the context of this game. But Murdoch leaping at the end of that stone in frustration. He knew it needed to curl a little bit more, but a big deuce for Scotland, turning the end around, and they go in front 6-5 after 7 ends of play.
Norway's in trouble.
Okay, Mikey, just what you've been thrown.
Okay, top 4.
Welcome back to the Northlands Coliseum here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. You're watching live coverage from the Ford World Men's Curling Championship 2017.
Be there.
Yeah, it feels hot.
Our feature match, Scotland versus China. Hans Frauenlob here with Ann Swisshelm from the USA. And boy, oh boy, what a pulsating contest back and forth. Scotland with a chance for 3. Tough shot. Maybe misread the line read, I think, on the attempted shot for a 3. But again, this game is evenly poised. It could go either way.
Yeah, and even with the misread, Scotland took 2 points with that hammer in the 7th end and take a 1-point lead into the last 3 ends of this game.
Neither team is forced to steal in this game, so great use of the hammer.
And really some nice shots by Dave Murdoch to close out the end. An incredible run takeout, and you can see these percentages here of leads. Wow, no quarter and no hitting allowed. No hitting allowed at the lead position. Both leads playing outstanding.
That is great shooting, isn't it?
3.
I think this is Greg.
3.
No, it's good now. It's good now.
3.
And you know the leads want to throw the hit, right? Because they can do it. But boy, oh boy, they're just going to throw those draws. But they want to hit.
Nice spot, Mike.
But why would you when you can throw draws with the precision that these guys are doing today? Look at that. Textbook stuff again brewing here in end number 8. Zhang Jialang looking to match Mike Goodfellow draw for draw. And here we go again. Great game within a game.
And a really nicely placed draw again. These leads are on fire.
4 perfect shots in the end. Great shooting. Enjoy it, folks. Doesn't get better than that. Let's take a look now at Switzerland versus Germany. The Swiss are up 4, and if you're Alexander Baumann from Germany, that's looking pretty dangerous. Well, what do you do here, Ann?
Well, looks like you make a run triple takeout or a run double.
Looks like you've got room.
Goodness, let's see what we got from
Let it
Alexander.
grab a touch. Let it grab. Get out there. Just Greg. Just Greg.
Greg. You gotta go. This is a corner.
German sweepers working hard and they come off it.
Bang, 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 bang.
Keep it going.
Wow.
And you get your run
Incredible.
triple
Wow.
for a score of 1.
Put that one on the highlight reel. That's a tough one, Alexander. Staying alive indeed.
Singing a little Bee Gees there after one of the best shots of the week.
Wow. What an amazing shot. Back here in our feature match, Scotland versus China. We know you're enjoying this one too. This has been a game with a little bit of everything in it. Badajing chips that one across. Would love to save his shooter, but it's spinning towards the barrier. Hangs in.
Just stays in play.
And there we again get the second position. Look at the quality of the front end play from both of these teams, and really high quality.
Both seconds showing that they can make anything. They've made draws, they've made run backs, they've made straight peels, open hits, hits and rolls, all with incredible precision.
Fella here hot. Fella here hot. Tight guard. Line's good.
Scott Andrews, the Scottish second.
No, line's fine. It will cuddle. It will cuddle. 2.5 feet. It's getting better. Line's fine. Line's good now. Line's good. Line's good.
Great shooting by the front ends of both teams in this game. It's been a real treat to watch. Let's take a look now at Sweden-Norway. Sweden up 2 in the final stone to come here for
And it's a
Norway.
tough situation for Team Norway.
This looks a little German-like, doesn't it?
Sweden looks like they have the lone Norwegian stone surrounded completely. Norway's going to need a double run back, tap, take out.
Man, oh man.
Great shot for a single point again.
Stefan Wallstad, what a great shot. Didn't hear any Bee Gees from him though. You know? Maybe it's aha coming from Norway or something like
Yes.
that. Take on me. And let's see if Scotland can walk 500 miles. Sorry, I'll stop now.
Halfway.
Those are pretty excellent musical references by country.
Halfway. Line's good. Just past the red. Similar spot to Scott's. Let's play shorter. Shorter. Higher line. The shorter. Good.
Straddling the center line. Good rock placement here from Team Scotland.
Good judge.
Great guard. There is a double takeout available to China on those center line guards, but it might bounce off the corner guard a little bit.
Maybe even spring towards the front of the rings if that happens.
Yes. So he's going to try and play it the other way.
能刮着吗？啊？刮不着吗？
不是，
你要这么打呀？
对，
这么打头还是定的，我感觉那个。
差不多，够点像，反正。
OK。
Xu Xiaoming just confirming the weight to be thrown, where the contact point is. Big weight. Looking to spin off that stone and propel everything sideways. Great shot.
Beautiful shot. Great manage with the angles. Keeps their corner. Opens up the situation in the rings, which is tough for Team Scotland.
I think you move them now. Yep.
That'll help tighten up those percentages. Greg Drummond with the clear statistical advantage at this point. Pretty close on hits. It's that draw difference that's really hitting Team China and upping the level of difficulty for Skip Liu Ray when that happens.
Yeah, we did see that hogged guard attempt from Xiaoming earlier in the game. That's hurt his draw percentages, but a nice double clear there.
Back 8, back 12, back 12. We'll stop. Back 12. Yep. Back 8. Back 8. Yep.
Drummond watching intently.
Back 8, looking for a tap on these stones. Create a little separation. Beautiful shot. Change the angles. The separation's there.
All right, okay. That's a couple of times, that's. Lucky.
Let's take a look now at Italy versus the USA. Last stone to come here for John Schuster. Italy with a stone frozen behind the tee line.
Looking to maybe pick that stone off the face of the U.S.
Pops it, spills everything, and that shooter of his own in the edge of the 12 hangs around, so it's a score of 1.
John a little disappointed. That was an opportunity for 2 for Team USA, but they still have the 2-point advantage headed into that 9th end.
Now we see those stones coming back to our feature game being repositioned, and this is intriguing. China's got the hammer here. Here's Liu Ray. And at the The skip position, we can see that we talked about Lou being on fire, and he certainly has been. He's got a good statistical edge over David Murdoch.
Yeah, Dave started to come on strong, though, in these last couple of ends.
He really has.
He looks very confident, like he settled down. Some uncharacteristic misses early.
Normal.
Yeah, that angle run in the 7th was huge, wasn't it? He made a great shot, and that turned that end around.
Yeah, and it may have turned around the fortunes for Dave,
Yeah, I think
right?
so.
When you make a shot like that and you finally give your team what they know you're capable of and what they trust you to do on a regular basis.
China still with something going here. They've got the hammer. They're going to look to remove this Scottish stone. And where does Lou Ray want to leave this one, do you think, Ann?
I think he'd like to go under the corner a little bit. That puts I mean, if Dave gets a little aggressive, 3 into play. But you've got to stick around in the edge of the 8-foot. You certainly don't want to go under center, because then the run double's available.
Maybe shifting gears here. Little outside roll.
Beautiful shot.
Very nice from Lou Ray. China lies 2.
Yeah.
Good awareness from Team China.
Really nice call.
It really was. It's a longish roll now for David Murdoch. He's going to try to duck under the center.
Precision roll.
Great look at it there from the throwing end. Guard shouldn't be a factor.
Main goal for this. Take out the 1 stone. The bonus will be rolling directly under the 2 rocks on the center line.
Right on the nose, so
It's shot rock.
it is shot rock, but great opportunity now for Lou Ray to really just nose that one back. Scores 2. So China's really held their nerve here in this 8th end.
They've made some really nice shots to keep what is to set up a relatively easy shot for 2.
But it's only easy because of their rock placement, isn't it? They just
Yeah.
kept good separation and
Nice patience.
yeah.
Taking care of those center rocks at, I think that was the key shot, the beautiful clear and the way the angles were called.
Last stone on its way for Lou Ray, looking to score 2 and get themselves in front in this game. Must stick around. Well by the guard, looking pretty good. And it is a score of 2 for China. Yet another deuce in this game with the hammer. This one is back and forth, back and forth. How will it end after 8 ends of play? China takes the lead. It's 7-6.
In the universe that is distinctively curling, the stars have now aligned to deliver the world's ultimate showdown to the world's entertainment capital. Whether you're a storied veteran of events past or a future superfan anxious to attend your first, this is the one. The 2018 World Men's in Las Vegas with our most popular package, the 9-day, 10-night hit and stay for 2 people for just $20.29.
Las Vegas rocks.
Welcome back to the Northlands Coliseum. Some of the Scottish supporters here in the stands a little bit nervous now after that deuce from China. Their team has fallen behind, but they've got the hammer here on end number 9. Hans Fraunlob here with Ann Swisshelm at the Northlands Coliseum, the World Men's Curling Championship, Ford World Men's, and boy, oh boy, what a contest. This one, we said early in the game, it felt like it was going to go right down to the wire, and it's proving to be so, Ann.
Yeah, it's been excellent play from both teams. I think the couple of areas where they need improvement, China's third started off a little slow, really picked up his game since, and then Skip David Murdoch has started a little slow. So his last 2 ends.
Who will hold their nerve?
I just can't speak highly enough of the play of these front end athletes.
Stunning play, really, really high quality.
And it's not just the rocks they're throwing, it's the communication, the energy, the intensity, the sweeping, the accuracy. It's very impressive.
Whips another one into the back of the forefoot, easy as you like. Let's take a look now at Sweden, Norway.
Norway in a control position with 2 rocks right there on the top of the button. Nick Edin throwing lots of heat, trying to double those off, maybe roll his shooter out of the rings for a blank.
Oh, shaves the top stone and just leaves it there. Wow.
And a pivotal steal of 2 points for Norway gives them the lead 5-4 after 8.
Oh, what a turnaround in that one.
Sweden's going to have to dig deep to come back from that.
Gee whiz. This Norwegian team, you know, many people have said, you know, where's Thomas Olsrud and who are these guys? Stefan Wallstedt. Well, I'll tell you what. I watched the Norwegian men's championship final, and Team Wallstedt is quality, and they're full value, and they're giving Nicholas Edin and their Swedish world champions everything they can handle and more. Back of the button, stones accumulating yet again.
As we take a look over onto Sheet C, the Switzerland-Germany contest. Germany has a nice level of control here in this 8th end. Benoit Schwarz needing a double takeout. Hoping to force both these stones all the way out of the rings and get 2 points. Top rock just hangs on. So it's a single point, but still Switzerland fairly commanding lead at 7-3 over Germany after 8 ends.
Boom, boom, boom. Changes the angles and makes it a bit more intriguing. Not so great, I don't think, though, for Scotland. I think they were hoping for a little bit better angle after that shot.
Yeah, I think they were hoping to get towards the other yellow rock, but
fantastic look at it from the home end.
Yeah, but there isn't a super easy way in here, so
Try and squeeze it between those 2 stones and make a play at the stone at the back of the button.
that's what it looks like with this counterclockwise rotating handle. Go right through that port, make a double takeout, sit 3 in the rings.
This one's got a curl. You got to get by that stone at the top of the forefoot first. Oh, just by it. Spins up behind it. Wow, what a great result for Van Xing.
That's a perfect shot.
Oh,
He looks a little surprised.
Well, look how close this comes to the stone. Oh, squeaks it. Great, great shot. The spin.
Bounces back up on the button above the tee line.
Couldn't be better for China. What a great result. Great shot. Brave call.
For all you young curlers out there back at home, the rocks in your club won't do this.
Very lively stones here.
These rocks and this ice is so conducive to beautiful, beautiful shots, just like that one from Badushen. And now Scotland needing...
No, looking to clear it too, but they blow it by. Scott Andrews.
That may be the first half shot he's had all game.
So after that amazing shot from Badashing, now Xu Xiaoming with an opportunity to block the access to those two Chinese stones. China would love to steal, but they'd certainly settle for a force and taking the hammer into the 10th. All up, all even. A steal would be enormous, though. That over curls, so that's a bit of a mistake there from China, and the door is now open again for Scotland, and they can pop this and roll, and it's double covered.
Yeah, they just need a nice, simple little hit, roll here.
It will jam, but they will get the roll and possibly engineer that deuce that they want so desperately.
Control. Yep.
Which ultimately will lead to an extra end if all if all works in Scotland's favor. That they'll win this in the extra by taking a score of 2 here, but with a nice shot.
Both stones roll towards the center line. And
Waiting, I thought when I called on. So.
I would say half of that Scottish shooter is probably available to Xiaoming, however. No chance of an inside roll, though. There's a great look at it. Oh, gonna have a chat about this one.
There's some other options that they want to talk about.
Plenty of time available, so worthwhile knowing what you want to play. Here comes Zhang to join the party. Liu Ray, I think, pretty adamant from the get-go that he wanted to make a play on that Scottish stone.
Yeah, and I think the other option, and I'm not exactly sure what they said, of course, but I think that Xiao wanted to maybe freeze on that stone.
It would have been a brave call. If you corner freeze that one, you lock them out and you certainly generate the force, but boy, you also introduce a degree of risk as well.
Yeah, but if with the execution on this shot, this puts the blank back into play potentially.
Potentially.
So, and I would imagine that China's original goal for this end was to force.
Good looking angle here, though. Go, go, go indeed for Team China, and they lie
Great shot.
too. Head nod there from Xiao Xiaoming. Still an opportunity to just squeeze inside it for the Scots, though. In this stage of the game, you really do have to take a crack at it, don't you?
Yeah, I'd like to see him go hard for the double and roll out to the wing and see what happens from there.
Instead, it's Greg Drummond who's going to be asked to play just a delicate
half
forward weight,
weight.
just to creep inside and get a tiny inside roll.
He's going to need to hit about only half that top rock.
Well, he's also going to need to move the stone in the back of the forefoot to get shot, isn't he?
Yeah, if he jams, they are shot, and he does a nice job.
Great shot there from Drummond. Wow.
Great weight.
Absolutely perfect.
Yeah, and that was the key to that. We heard Dave Murdoch say great weight. That was the key to that shot. We get a nice look at it, how tight it is past the guard, a little bit of extra finish there, and just enough weight to get those rocks off the forefoot.
Absolutely.
One out of play. Beautiful shot.
Will that be the game changer that Scotland needs to carry them to victory?
Well, Liu Ray looking at the run.
Looking to drive his yellow guard stone straight back. Zero tolerance for error here because he's got to navigate past that red guard. So He has to slam this one right on the beak.
Hard! Oh! Hard! 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 Go! Hard, guys! Go, 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 go!
Wow, great shot by Lu Rei.
Just like that. Wonderful call again from Team China.
Can't tell you how excellent that execution was. Well, now we see the final between Switzerland and Germany. Alex Baumann staying alive for a while, but it's Peter de Cruz and his Swiss teammates that take out the victory, so they move to 3-1, and it's Switzerland with a 7-4 win.
Just, yeah.
What a fantastic raise by Lu Rei. I'm still shaking my head in disbelief. That was a marvelous shot.
It was just perfect. And now Dave Murdoch needs a even better shot. A draw to the forefoot, set up his score of 2. Similar to the first end. Similar line, similar setup to the first end. They've got a skips deuce set up.
In that first end, Lu Rei was a little bit heavy with the following shot and did give Scotland the chance for the deuce. What'll happen this time?
Lots of lines still here.
Comes to rest straddling the center line, but it'll be a teaser for Lu Rei. He'll be able to see at least a corner. Now the decision is freeze or make a play at it.
Yeah, and one of the things that he needs to do is have a very short memory, no matter how great this last shot was.
Look at this, had to hit it exactly on the nose and drives the Scottish Stone out of the rings and pops his own behind cover.
Beautiful.
What a great clutch shot there from Lu Rei.
He needs to lower his heart rate, calm himself down. He's going to throw a little bit more delicate touch shot here. Hack weight. Tap that Scottish Stone off the top of the button. Force Scotland to a tough draw for 1.
Here we come. Last stone of the end for Lu Rei. Dave Murdoch's got the hammer, but last Chinese stone on its way.
Come on! Hard! Hard! Whoa! Whoa! Hard! Whoa! Come on!
Well by the guard. Needed to curl. Well by the guard. Has he got contact? Pushes the Scottish Stone back out of the 8-foot to just lie to. So mission accomplished. A little bit nervy there for Team China, but now it's a decision for Dave Murdoch. Well, not really much of a decision.
Oh, there's no choice. Yeah, there's no choice here. That was a great shot by Team China.
Just enough contact to push the Scottish Stone, importantly, out of the 8-foot circle to leave China lying to and generate the force that China wanted. So great clutch shooting on the 9th end by Lu Rei. And now an important moment for David Murdoch. Let's say it's routine, but nothing's routine when you're this late in the game and you're facing 2. Let's take a look at the split times. Be looking, what we think, Ann, 14-second-ish for a split. Hard to say in this path, this late in the game.
Yeah, maybe 14-2.
Yeah. It's the hog line at 14-2, right on the money. So we're thinking this one is looking pretty good for the T line, and so it proves out right to the button, right onto the nail for David Murdoch, keeping Scotland in the game. Clutch draw there for Scotland in 9, but we go to the 10th end, all tied up. It is China 7, Scotland 7. Don't you dare go away. This is going to be a fantastic finish.
我那样打的话就13秒7。
Well, curling fans, wherever you're joining us around the world, if you're up in the middle of the night in Scotland or watching us from Asia or wherever in the world you're joining us, we know you're enjoying this one. We are dead even, 7-7, playing the 10th end. China with the hammer. And
Scotland is looking for something that hasn't happened all game.
that's
The
right. Elusive steal.
steal. And now we get a chance for a tick shot from Zhang Zhaliang. It'll be his first somewhat hit.
First time he's
Thrown anything above.
bumped another stone in anger.
Yes. They're trying to cross the face of this. They're going to end up close to nose.
Yeah, pushing it straight back into the rings. And
Quite a bit of weight.
Dave Murdoch trying to sweep this out of play. The free guard zone is in effect, and he moves it through the rings. So this stone will go back.
Sorry.
Good. Same speed. You're not far away, like we didn't touch that much. Yeah? Yeah. Good.
Just agreeing the rock placement. There we see.
It's actually up to Dave.
Yeah, it is.
So I appreciate Badi Shen trying to help him out, but it is the non-defending team's responsibility to put that rock back.
So here's Mike Goodfellow. Chance now to stack him up a bit.
Tight guard.
And it is official that Mike will not throw a hit this game.
Unless we play an extra, but that seems unlikely.
Here we go, guys. Here we go. Line's good.
Not feeling like a blank end in the wind here.
Come on. Gotta go. Hard.
Guys are working hard to drag this rock to the 3 position, keep it directly underneath the other guard.
Oh, look at that stone finish.
Nice shots. What a game from Michael Goodfellow.
Those stones being lined up is going to make it very difficult for China to double clear later in the end.
So China knows that. This one, they're going to put underneath those guards. Try and take control of the top of the forefoot. Lots of line on this.
So it will finish hard, but it's got a lot of curling to do, and they don't want to slide behind the tee line. Comes to rest on the edge of the button, just on the tee. So Murdoch saying, okay, let's go right now. I've got my guards. Please corner freeze this one on the button for me, Scott.
Top 4.
One touch per line, Greg. Line's good now. Line's good now.
Top 40. Line's good. Maybe bump
It looks like it's running.
Okay. Small top. Almost
No,
frozen.
all Mike then.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yep. Whoa.
Nudges it just to the back of the
That's
button.
an outstanding shot.
Little catcher there for Team Scotland. Let's take a look now to the Italy-United States game. Final stone to come for Amos Mosaner.
Whoa.
Looking for a little run, tap, split
Oh my goodness.
to take 2. A shot he may have learned from the Japanese skip who played it against Italy in the opening game of this World Championship.
Very, very nicely done.
Beautifully thrown by Amos Mosaner from Italy to tie this game up 6-6 with the United States.
So after looking like they were looking in reasonable control now, the Italians have fought back even in that one. So
At least
some
one.
fantastic finishes coming up here in the morning draw. Day 3 of the 2017 Ford World Men's Curling Championship from Edmonton. And situation brewing pretty positively here for Scotland. They have to steal this 10th end to win, and they're just trying to position their guard
Yeah,
stones.
this
But this
rock
one's
is
creeping a little close to the second guard, isn't it?
really heavy. So after the uncharacteristic steal of 2 points for Team Norway on the miss from Sweden's Skip Nicodine in the 8th end,
Well, there's a pile of Swedish stones all there already there. So.
Sweden has full control, sitting 4 as the final stone is away, looking for a score of 5.
Wow. What a turnaround. Well, the sweepers don't think much of it. They're not going anywhere near that stone.
It skates right through the back of the rings.
Oh my goodness.
But still, there's good news for Sweden. They still take 4
Wow.
and a 3-point lead into the 10th end. And on our feature sheet, Badushen made an outstanding double takeout and pick off the top of the button.
Line's good.
That might be a game winner.
Yep. Make it a good one. Yep.
So looking for a halfway guard right on the center line from Greg Drummond.
That's quick down there now. Yes, 30 there for fun.
The hope for Team Scotland, you know that China's going to be running the guards, is that Chinese stone in the back of the button. It might be something that Murdoch could freeze to on his last shot of the game, but still a few stones to come yet. And here is Xiao Shangmeng.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Hard. Whoa, whoa.
Just looking to rip this center guard.
Whoa.
Things looking very comfortable for Team China after the wonderful double takeout.
China with the hammer here in the 10th. Scotland must steal.
Not for weight. Line's good. Line's good. 2 feet further. A little bit tighter. 2 feet further. Way tighter.
And you know that both Lou Ray and Dave Murdoch are thinking, okay, that stone just behind the tee line is going to be either an opportunity or a problem, depending which perspective you're taking.
Yeah, that's it. China at this point would like nothing in play.
Just saw Lou Ray angling his brush. It looks like he wants to ask Xu Xiaoming to throw the clear and maybe get a little bit of action on those stones. And if he hit it just right, it's possible that he could take everything out of play, which would suit China down to the ground. So let's see what happens on this clear attempt. Blows it by.
That's the way to miss that shot.
It absolutely
you can
is.
call it that.
You don't want to stuff it into the pile, that's for sure.
I don't think it really matters. Yeah, I mean, overcurl was nowhere good. Oh, okay. Good speed here, Dave. Really good. Yeah, okay.
Dave knows he's going to throw one up there. He knows that Lou Ray's going to try to peel it, and he knows on his last one he's going to be throwing the freeze if that's the way it pans out.
Leave you the cart for your last.
Okay.
Already thinking about which stone they want to leave Murdoch to throw for his last. He's obviously got a preferred draw stone there in the pair.
Yeah, and he just may have one stone that lots of skips like to have a stone that curls a little bit more. So they know if they need to finish something somewhere, as long as they're matched for speed, they can manage line with the great sweepers.
Wait, it's good now. Easy, easy. Just 2.5.
For 3.
Still Scott. Make it a good guard. Looks like you need to go a bit.
No, wait's good.
Easy. Okay, good.
So Murdoch throws it on the center line, and China is now calling timeout. So they're going to ask their coach, Marcel Rock, to come down. And meanwhile, in the Battle of Scandinavia, it's Sweden that prevails. Niklas Edin and his world champions who run out 8-5 winners over Stefan Wallstedt of Norway. So that game had a bit of everything as well. Steal of 2, and Nick Edin will be going on drawn to the hack and gave up a steal of 2, but we came off the ice with the win, so it's a good result for Sweden. Here's Marcel Rock.
Well, if you do that, where's he going? He's freezing in there, and you're going to have the tee. If he's a little off, then you'll have a double off it. So you can either do that and have that shot, or you can come in right away and be there 1-2. Right? Come around right away, right in there yourself. But those are your 2 options. It's what you want him to do. Netherwin would come in first. But the argument is always, do you play that one and then do it with your last? You can win it with your first and still have a chance with your second. Up to you. You can come around, sit right there, and then what's you got? Up to you.
Marcel Rock gives them the options. So Dave Nedohin would come right in right now and zip it in there to lie 1-2. But it's up to you, Lou. Xu Xiaoming looking at the center guard, and it looks like that the players actually want to throw the clear now rather than try to draw it into the front of the button and lie 1-2. And Swiss Helm has said a couple of times this week, any call is a great one as long as you make it.
Yeah, it's much better than missing. Making the wrong call, executing the wrong call is generally better than missing the right one. But I think in this situation that this is absolutely the right call.
Hoping for a little action on this side stone, just past it, but safe.
It really isn't necessary. Dave Murdoch's got to make a really tough draw here, and Leo Ray will have a relatively wide open shot.
It's okay.
Is it on the nose, and this is a hair low, so he can't take like
Can't make anything off his
No, he
feet.
can't make it off
He's
his
to draw
feet.
the can.
Yeah.
We
That's
just,
for
we just
sure.
don't want to be this side.
No,
Send
I
against the
mean,
double. We've got that.
we've just got to be straight nose.
Yeah.
If we over curl, he's got this
Yeah.
easy. So.
But if it looks like it's over curling, we have to go for the tap.
Okay.
You playing the out turn?
I think we've got to.
We know both.
It's more natural going that way, isn't it? But, well, I mean, worst case scenario, we hang up and we flop off and put that there. That's not
I just
terrible.
think almost curl.
An option.
Aye, okay.
You know,
I
like-
don't mind this turn.
No, well, we don't know this. This
Okay.
is a guess. We've not played here, though.
Dave
No, I just
Murdoch
stick
clearly
with
wants
me.
to play the out turn.
Okay.
So,
So you're almost shaving this red
yeah.
guard.
So draw the button. This has got to be there, eh?
Yep.
So we're looking at least this.
Okay.
1:52 left on the clock
Yep.
for Team
Like it.
Scotland, so even though they've
You like
used their
eyes,
timeout,
Scott?
they've got plenty of time.
Lots
Right.
of time. We
It's
saw
gonna
Sweden
break
play an
right away.
entire
If
end
we need
with a
to go for
minute
the tap,
30
let me
last
know.
night. So lots of time for one single rock.
Okay, Dave, let's make this. Lock it right on there.
So we saw this one brewing from that great stone early in the end from Scott Andrews. He just nudged the Chinese stone behind the tee line.
95-3, just what you've been throwing.
Set up this into opportunity for Scotland to try and steal the end with a perfect freeze.
T line. Line's good. T line. Line's good.
Rocks away.
Small bump. Yep. Yep. Small bump. Yep. Hard line.
Really starting to curl now.
Small bump, especially bumping. Yep.
Weight looks good. Small bump.
Yep. Whoa. Whoa.
It's close.
Yep.
That's a pretty good shot there from Murdoch.
Just lost it.
So Dave Murdoch's done everything he can do to generate the steal.
Thank you. Good luck.
And there we see some handshakes over there on sheet A between Italy and the United States. After a strong fight back, USA finishes it out with an 8-6 win over Team Italy. John Schuster and the Team USA with a big win this morning. So decision time now for Team China. They've also used their timeout. They've got 1:19 and running on the clock, so they haven't got quite as comfortable time clock as Scotland had. So if you blast, we talked about maybe there not being a blank opportunity in this end, but if he hammers it and it spins,
Yeah, there is a potential
There's a
for a blank
potential
all of a
blank.
sudden. Yeah, good catch on those angles. Yeah, that is a possibility. And we've seen everything except that.
that's true. That would just sort
So
of
far.
round out the morning, wouldn't it?
Yeah. So, but
Wow.
with that, Leo Ray has a double takeout.
Contact point, he really just wants to be squarely in the middle of
He
those two
has-
stones.
He has played takeouts very well.
So here we go. Last stone of the 10th then for Leo Ray.
Hard. Go. Hard. Go. 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 Hard.
contact, spin, and China wins the game. What a fantastic final stone from Liu Ray. China 9, Scotland 7. Clutch final stone from Liu Ray. To the delight of the Chinese fans, they know how big that win was. That brings their record up to 2-2 and a huge victory for Team China. Disappointment for David Murdoch. He did everything he could. Perfect freeze on his final stone, but Liu Ray, how do you like that, folks? Clutch shot on the final stone to round out an outstanding game for the Chinese skip. Play in end number 7. Dave Murdoch of Scotland with the hammer. Noses it, almost scores 3, just had to curl a hair more. Punches it by the stone in the back 8, leaps to the air. He knows that was a chance at a 3, but he cashes a deuce. Now in the 8th. Final stone for Chinese skip Liu Ray. Nice control weight, needs to nose and stick around. And a big deuce there for Team China. In the 9th then, facing 2. Game-saving situation here for David Murdoch. He has to draw into the forefoot to save the end. Drills it right on the nail. Clutch shot from the Scottish veteran. We go to the 10th and final in, all tied up. Then on the final stone of the match, Dave Murdoch with a near perfect freeze, so Liu Ray removes both Scottish stones, punches it by his own, clutch double takeout for the win. Final, China 9, Scotland 7. And recapping the other games from the morning session here on day 3 of the Ford World Men's Curling Championship 2017. United States with a victory over Italy, 8-6. Switzerland with a 7-4 win over Germany, and Sweden with an 8-6 win over Norway. And taking a look at the standings now, Canada had the bye this morning. They're unbeaten at 3-0. Switzerland, Sweden now at 3-1. Japan at 2-1. China moves up to 2-2 with their win in our feature match, as does Italy, also at 2-2. Norway, Scotland, United States also even on 2-2 records. Germany at 1-3, and the Netherlands and Russia looking for their first victories.
Leo, congratulations on your win today. How did that feel?
恭喜赢这场比赛，感觉怎么样？
感觉今天这场比赛打的虽然说非常艰苦吧，但是我们取得最终胜利还是很高兴。
This game a little bit difficult for us, but we keep going, try to best.
In the 10th end, you called a timeout where your coach gave you multiple options. How did you decide between the two options given by Marcel Rock?
就是教练给2个选择，在第10局叫暂停，然后是怎么在2个之中选择？
当时就是选择最简单的吧，把那个复杂的东西留给对手。
Just choice easy for us, difficult for other team.
Great throwing today. Congratulations.
恭喜你 ，Thank you.
So there you have it from the Northlands Coliseum in Edmonton. For the entire crew, I'm Hans Frauenlaub and Swiss Helm thanking you. We know you've enjoyed it today. Join us again this afternoon from the Ford World Men's Curling Championship.